Welcome back, everybody. It's another random live of Eyes on the Audit. And tonight, I'm joined by Mama Bear. She'll bring herself up when she's ready. There she is. Hey, Mama Bear.
Hello. How are you this evening?
Yeah, we're all good. Just got a little bit bored in a few minutes. Thought I'd just do a little random live, see what's going on, see who's around. Seeing what's new. And we've got this debate on tomorrow, this master debate that we're going to be streaming.
Yeah. I see we've got a big debate going on tomorrow night.
Right.
It'll be an interesting debate.
Yeah, the master debaters are Tim Waltz and JD Vans. Make no mistake, they are supreme prime, like grade A class one hypocritical liars. I mean, great at what they do. Hey, Joppa, how you doing?
Hey, Deb, how are you? Yes, it's going to be an interesting debate.
Yes, for sure.
Oh, God, is it going to be an
A couple of
interesting debate?
hypocrites. My money is on Vance. He's got more of a. I don't know. The other guy seems like he's a bit of a. He's lost. You know, he's in way over his head. I reckon.
I was going to say you wanted debate to debate. But I had my money on Vance, so it's not going to be a fun debate when we're both debating on the same team.
Well, no, I mean it's kind of all right. I'll bet on the other guy. I'll bet on the other guy to lose. I bet that. I mean, they're both knobheads. They're both going to lie to us. They're both going to exaggerate. They're both going to fucking, you know, promise shit they can't. They have no intentions of fulfilling.
Well, did you see the rules for the debate?
Well, what are the rules?
Oh, God.
No lying, no cheating, no backstabbing. Oops.
The rules for the debate for tomorrow night. Oh, let me pull them back up again. Here are the rules for the debate for tomorrow night.
Lost your audio. Just a warm welcome to everybody over on X and on Rumble. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in on this random live. Netanyahu, yeah, I saw the noise about that little drama that was outside the. I mean, that's, in my opinion, that's the whole reason why the P Diddy scandal has been highlighted by the news, because none of them want to speak out against, Israel and what Israel's doing at the moment. So, let's not look and concentrate on that. Let's focus on other things. Let's talk about other things. Let's talk about P Diddy, that D-pitted motherfucker. Kitty diddler. Who gives a fuck where he's been sticking the key to the city? Right? Motherfucking dirty bastard. It's not like he's going to give it back to anyone. It's not like it actually opens up anything anyway. You know, as it opens someone's bum hole, and you stick it up someone's bum hole. You stick up the mayor's bum hole and turn the key, and then out pops up a wish like a genie. There you go. Here's a genie. What's going on?
As soon as I started talking about it, kicked me right out.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it didn't want me to talk about it. Okay.
Go on then. Part 2.
All right.
Take 2.
Okay. Here are the rules for the debate. It will start at 9 o'clock. It will run 90 minutes. There will be the length will be 2. The rules for the debate. There will be no audience.
No audience.
There will be no audience.
Yeah, so they can control.
The moderators will introduce the candidates in order of the incumbent parties. So Waltz will become first. There will be no opening statements. Waltz will stand behind to the left of the stage, which is the right side of the viewing screen. Vance will be put him on the right, will be on the left side of the screen. Candidates cannot bring pre-written notes or props on stage. They have 2 minutes to answer a question and 2 minutes to respond. They will have 1 minute for rebuttals. At moderators' discretions, candidates may get an additional 1 minute to continue a discussion.
You know it's going to be one-sided moderation.
Candidates' microphone will not be muted when the opponent is speaking. But, you know there was a but there. You knew there was a but there. CBS reserves the right to turn off the microphones.
Oh, so they're going to turn off Vance's microphone.
Vance won a virtual coin toss on.
And who are the moderators? What's this? What show? What show is this on?
CBS.
CBS. So in CBS. Creative bullshit.
Margaret Brennan will moderate the
Creative Bullshit Channel.
Okay. CBS Evening News anchor and managing
Central Bullshit Channel.
CBS coordinator, anchor, managing editor Norman O'Donnell, and Face Nation moderator and chief foreign affairs coordinator Margaret Brennan will moderate the debate. Okay. That's who's going to moderate.
CIA Operation Mockingbird, CBS.
Okay. All right. Now, Vance won the virtual coin toss on Thursday, opting to go second with his closing statement. Each candidate has 2 minutes for their closing remarks. No topic or question will be shared when the campaigns in advance. Okay. CBS will stream free on CBS apps and on your connected TV or smartphones. But we all know how that is because we streamed it last time and we got copyright first music that wasn't music, which we're still waiting for, because I appealed my decision because it wasn't music, and I have appealed my decision on that because it was not music, it was talking, and I have appealed it. I've appealed it. So for them to say it's free, they'll copyright you. They will copyright you.
That's the thumbnail for tomorrow.
They will copyright you.
Sponsored by Butthurt Cream. What do you think of that? Another senseless debate. I had fun making this one.
They will copyright you. So
What's this one? Oops. Let me get rid of that.
they will copyright you. So anybody thinks they won't, they're lying. They is lying. They liars.
No, okay.
They liars.
Don't need that one.
But you know what gets me? I remember that one.
Yeah. I'm just removing some of the ones that we don't really need. What's the nut
It's
through?
for oh, I guess a pot. Hey, I think I seen you earlier.
Grew in the phone box.
Yeah.
And these are our esteemed leaders.
But you know, it gets me. I've been watching a lot of what's happening in you know, Tennessee and North Carolina and that, you know.
Yeah, and that's on tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern time, isn't it?
You know,
It's like 2 a.m. for us over here in the UK.
yeah.
And then we'll have some fun tomorrow. We will take the professional pissery out of them.
Yep.
All right.
You
So
know,
what we got for everybody? How you doing, support? What's going on, bro? What we doing? What we doing? We could play a few videos for everybody. I have loads of videos that we can play.
Yes, we have lots and lots of videos. I don't know if a lot of people have been watching the news. What's happening around the world today. But lots of shit's happening. Lots of shit happening around the world. A lot of shit. But played on the network show here a while ago. The civil rights lawyer about a guy that in California who was taken down by the cops and then paralyzed. And was in the hospital.
I remember this one.
Well, he is, since they just did an update on him today, and it's not good.
Hello, my name is Taya Graham, and welcome to the Police Accountability Report. As I always make clear, this show has a single purpose. And of course, you can always message me directly.
This is a different one, yeah.
Yep.
I was going to say, yeah, this is a different one. And she's really good. I like Taya Graham, Accountability Report. Maybe we should send her an email.
Who was arrested, handcuffed, and then slammed headfirst into the ground, resulting in him being paralyzed, spending a year dying in a hospital bed.
You just got more trouble for yourself.
Yep, now you're on a felony.
He's not gonna want to move. Move this leg. Move.
I talked to his attorneys, and you're not going to believe this. We now know the officers' names and the fact that their employer did not even bother to even do an investigation, even though a man was paralyzed and died.
From what we can tell in the depositions and the paperwork they've turned over during discovery, there's been no investigation whatsoever.
So it always gets back to they're more concerned with money and covering their backside than doing the right thing.
And the crazy thing is that it was all caught on body cam footage, and there's no reason why they still could not today perform that investigation. But they'd rather defend their police officers and avoid having to pay any money rather than see that justice is done. Let's go through it, and I'll tell you how you can help.
And even though that they acknowledged that he said he was paralyzed, and they acknowledged that they never saw his legs move after the takedown, they decided to put out a call for a code 2, and the ambulance didn't think it was a priority and didn't come for more than 30 minutes. So they have no excuse for that.
On the afternoon of October 8th, 2022, Anthony Silva's life was irrevocably altered when Stanislaus County deputies unleashed a brutal assault, leaving him quadriplegic and eventually causing his death on September 10th, 2023. Mr. Silva was outside the Riverbank Community Center in Riverbank, California, near a gazebo that is a public facility. Mr. Silva was 39 years old. He was a high school graduate, and for several years before this incident, he had sort of been off and on homeless. Stanislaus County deputies Kamara and Jiang approached Mr. Silva and immediately executed a forceful takedown and arrest, though Mr. Silva offered no resistance, though he was not suspected of any serious crime, and though he was not a threat to anyone.
Go away, relax. All right, bro. Come on, pal. I like the ball. I like the football.
Just relax, dude.
What are you doing, dog? No, come on. Why are you just taking me like that? Zach.
Give me hands.
Zach, okay?
I know, just give us your hands.
Hey,
Just relax.
Why are you resisting the ball?
Just give us your hands.
I can't even look at nobody.
Deputies Kamara and Jiang detained Mr. Silva without any reasonable suspicion that he had committed any crime.
Why'd you do that to my hand? My ball hard. Why? Stay down. Please, why? I need to know. Because I need to know. I told you why. Hey, I'm going to ask you 3 times.
He's going
You're under arrest. Why'd you push me? I was running from you. Hit me hand. He took off running.
I don't know where Padilla went.
Adam Padilla ran.
Here.
Yeah, ambulance or what, bud?
Okay. You're under arrest.
The outside. Pino.
Can you put it out?
See?
Can you be all for him?
Oh. Bro, I gotta arrest you. Yeah?
Hey, where did Adam go?
Deputies Kamara and Jiang led Mr. Silva to a nearby gazebo, and Deputy Bavaro from the Stanislaus County Sheriff's Department met them there.
Sit down.
Hey, I thought I become water, brother.
Sit down.
What's up?
Please.
Unlace my
Stand
house.
up, stand up, stand up.
I will lay my pockets. You don't have to get out on me.
Stand up. I want you up though.
I need to go to the restroom and piss.
Okay.
During their conversation with Mr. Silva, Deputy Kamara became angry and forcefully slammed Mr. Silva headfirst into the ground with help from deputies Jiang and Bavaro.
Where do you want this dropped off at?
Oh, that's my belongings. My
Well, it's
plastic
not,
bag over there,
they
right?
can't go with you.
Why,
You're going to jail, dude.
For what, bud?
You're drunk and public.
My cash.
Where's your
I
cash
have to
at?
go get something to drink. My water is not free.
Where's your cash at?
Come on, bro.
Okay, Chuck, stand up.
Honestly, I don't
Yeah.
have. I don't have to go to jail. You're not
Stand up.
bailing me out now.
Stand up. Let's go.
Yo, man, I'm asking.
You're in arrest.
My cash. Where's my cash?
We'll take it.
Give my f***ing hand.
Hey.
Give my f***ing hand. Give my helmet. Out of my helmet. Oh, my God.
Stop.
Ow. Ow.
You got a rap?
Yeah. Ow.
2Y6. Start 1141.
Let me up. Ow. Ow. Ow.
Relax.
The forceful takedown of Mr. Silva resulted in cervical fractures of his C6 and C7 vertebrae. In layman's terms, Mr. Silva's neck was broken. Due to his broken neck, Mr. Silva could not get back to his feet. Mr. Silva immediately told the deputies, "I'm paralyzed."
You just got more trouble for yourself.
Yeah, now you're on a felony. You're not bleeding, Anthony. You're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 1141. You're fine, buddy.
I can't
What's
up?
You're talking to me right now, Anthony.
I can't move my hand.
Okay, 6. It's going to be Stanislaus in 6.
You're not paralyzed. You can move your arms. I'm seeing your arms moving.
Relax.
Relax.
Yeah.
Fine, Anthony. Anthony, you're fine, buddy.
The deputies did not promptly call paramedics. Instead, as Mr. Silva lay on the ground, deputies Kamara and Jiang began to move his injured body. Without giving his neck any support, they carried his limp body to a nearby picnic table and sat him upright.
We got ambulance coming, okay? If we stand you up, are you going to walk?
You want to sit in shade, Anthony? I will have to sit on.
Okay, buddy, we're going to roll you over towards me and we're going to sit you up, okay? I'm going to lift you up a little bit so we can move you, okay? Okay? You gonna be cool?
Sit up.
Let's get up.
Dad.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Ow. I can't.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, ready?
It's got me.
You got me?
It's got me.
What got you?
Let me go, please.
I'm not going to let you go.
Wait, we're not going to start this again, dude.
Please.
Relax, dude.
Please, brother.
Relax. No, you're going to jail, so relax.
You're fine, buddy.
What's the matter?
Do not hit me again with your
What's
head, okay? You
on
already got
my
one.
head?
You got one felony charge already.
What's my head?
You're moving. You're fine, dude.
Oh,
You good?
on my
Me?
toes. God.
Yeah, but you.
Yeah.
No, well, he like shoulder checked me,
Yeah,
so
I should have. I'm on, so I should have caught that. Yours would have caught the whole thing, by the way.
Moving Mr. Silva multiple times exacerbated his neck injury, resulting in permanent quadriplegia. Then Mr. Silva was transported to the hospital where he spent a miserable last year of his life confined to a hospital bed. He would never leave the hospital bed, completely paralyzed, with a feeding tube down his throat, really unable to even talk. Finally, his body succumbed to the injury that he had that day. While he was still alive, though, he was able to connect with one of the best civil rights lawyers in the nation, and one of the best civil rights lawyers, of course, in California, a guy named Dale Gallipo. Dale filed the lawsuit, and I was fortunate enough to be able to interview Dale and also his associate Cooper, who's working on the case, about what has happened since the last video. They've taken all the depositions, so we know what the officers have to say for themselves. Really, the most egregious thing here is the fact that this man died. Really, it's undisputed. Not only was there no accountability, no discipline for the deputies who were involved, but you're not going to believe this, there was not even any internal investigation whatsoever?
So I've been a lawyer for about 35 years. I started out doing personal injury law and criminal defense. About 22 years ago, I decided I was going to specialize in civil rights cases. So I've handled probably several thousand, I think over 300 or 400 shooting cases. I mean, that's how crazy the numbers are. I've gone to trial at least over 100 times in federal court against the police.
What was the reason for the officers confronting Mr. Silva that day in the first place?
I believe they got a call about somebody who was in the park causing disturbance, or they thought he was chasing someone or maybe trying to fight someone. But it turned out that he had never fought anybody. And I think there's a short video that shows that portion. So really the whole thing was exaggerated. Plus they wanted him to leave the park, and he's walking out of the park, contrary to their deposition testimony, where they claim he was stopped and in some type of a fighting stance. He's walking out of the park as the officers approach him, tell him to stop. He eventually stops and turns towards them. And, then it all starts.
Did any of the individual officers during their depositions take any responsibility for it at all?
No, I don't think so. I think they're going to go with this is just an unfortunate accident, and he was resisting, and we had no choice but to take him down to try to avoid further injury to ourselves and even him. That to me is quite ironic that they are going to say they took him down to avoid injury to him, and they slammed him head into the ground, breaking his neck and paralyzing him.
Tell me, how would you frame your opening argument in this case involving Mr. Silva?
One of the main things that has to be established, the seriousness of a takedown gone bad, okay? Because some jurors they understand shooting someone in the back is bad, right? Hitting someone over the head with a baton 5 times, that's more visual. Tasing someone 8 times. But taking someone to the ground, if I'm the defense in this case, this is a very unfortunate accident, is how I believe the defense will try to frame this.
You're going to head that off at the pass before they even get to it.
Yeah, I'm going to head it off at the pass. I'm going to say, and I think some of our questioning, and Cooper's to my right here, you can see Mr. Cooper right there. I believe that in the deposition, and we can send you the transcripts, I asked the officer, and Cooper's taken some and I've taken some, were you trained that a takedown is a reportable use of force? Yes, start with the basics. Were you trained that if someone is taken down, they could be seriously injured, especially if they're handcuffed? Were you trained that one of the things you got to be careful of, if someone's taken down after they're handcuffed, they can't brace their fall and they can impact their head? Were you trained that an impact to the head against a hard surface could cause serious injury, even death or paralysis? Because what do we know happened? They took him down handcuffed and he hit his head. And they knew by their training that could happen. These officers even went so far, I believe, as saying in the depositions, we were trying to avoid him hitting his head. Didn't they? Did you have any evidence he had a weapon? Did you have any evidence of any specific injury to anyone? Had you called the ambulance? Did he punch you? Did he try to punch you? Did he kick you? Did he try to kick you? Did he try to tackle you to the ground? Did you realize that he might be a little bit off? Maybe some mental health crisis going on? Did you think he was homeless? So now you got all these facts that they were aware of beforehand. Were this guy really? And now he's handcuffed? And he's in your custody and control? And you knew by bringing him to the ground, especially that you were on a hard surface? I would try to let the jury know this is not a serious crime they were responding to, that he was initially cooperative and even handcuffed, that he was showing clear signs of a mental health crisis and or someone under the influence and or both,
I think the really egregious part of what happened in that situation was not even just the initial injury that occurred, but the way that they treated him afterwards. And
Right, and
they sort of mocked him.
Yeah, and moved him. And Cooper was really all over that too. He just felt the longer that video goes afterwards, the worse these cops look. They don't even look remorseful. They're almost like, you know, and him crying out. It's very, you know, when you have videos like that, I got to tell you, if I'm on the defense side, I don't want to try that case in front of a jury, certainly not against someone like me, because it could really go south.
Help me.
We got the ambulance coming, Anthony.
Not a
Black.
tube. Come on. Ow. What do you need help with?
Sit up. You are up.
Why?
Relax.
Up.
Anthony, where's the pain? Huh? Anthony, look at me real quick. Look at me real quick. Okay. Look at me. I want you to look at the tip of my pen, okay? You literally just had your eyes open.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You want me to help you out before you have to do it? Then if you can do it, you can do it. Sit up. You can. You're moving your neck. You need our assistance? What can I assist you with, Anthony?
Can you tell me a little bit about Anthony Silva's like mental health issues?
Yeah, Anthony had been dealing with some pretty serious mental health issues since he was a young adult. He was diagnosed bipolar, and so he was trying to manage that with medication. And the deputies involved in this incident even acknowledged that they knew he was dealing with these mental issues and had seen him previously and knew that that was something he was dealing with. But the way they treated him, it did not seem like they took that into consideration.
It almost seemed like they treated him like he was on drugs or intoxicated rather than suffering from mental illness.
Be honest.
Just so we know for ambulance.
Just be honest, man. When's the last time you used?
Ambulance guys are gonna have to too. We just want to have the answers for them.
What? When?
Help me.
When did you use? This morning? A couple hours ago? 5 minutes ago? Huh? But when did you use?
Ambulance coming.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And, you know, sometimes officers use that as an out. I didn't think he was mentally ill because they know that's a sensitive issue. We just thought he was under the influence. But the reality is there's often a crossover between people who are homeless or semi-homeless and mentally ill and people who are sometimes doing drugs to self-medicate for a mental illness. So I think an argument could be made whether you think someone has a mental health crisis or is under the influence or you're not sure, you should really proceed with caution and try to de-escalate a situation rather than escalating.
Did you guys already depose all of the officers involved in this case?
Pretty much. Yeah, I would say yes, with an exception maybe of a sergeant who came after the fact.
Did they provide any explanation for their behavior after the fact?
I'll let Cooper address that one. What would you say, Coop?
Absolutely not. No, the only way that they tried to escape responsibility for this was by saying that it was an accident, that they didn't mean to break his neck. But they didn't really have an excuse for why they had to use that kind of force given the circumstances.
Did they provide any excuse for why they didn't get a medical treatment or why they just sort of stood around and mocked them, etc.?
Partially they blamed it on the ambulance not showing up because they were busy doing something else. But one of the interesting things that came up in the deposition is that they put out a call code 2. And in the depositions, it came out that if something is very serious, you put out a call code 3. And that means the ambulance comes out and gives your call priority. And even though that they acknowledged that he said he was paralyzed, and they acknowledged that they never saw his legs move after the takedown, they decided to put out a call for a code 2 and the ambulance didn't think it was a priority and didn't come for more than 30 minutes. So they have no excuse for that.
Come on, man. You were very talkative earlier. Huh? Huh?
How long does it take for an ambulance in Riverbank? They don't have an ambulance available.
Oh, it's paused again. It's frozen, Mama Bear.
Yeah. You move? Just relax, dude. No, yeah, I'm ready.
Meet real quick. Anthony, do you have any pain on your shoulder? When was the last time you used, man? When was the last time you used? Your things are constricted, bro.
It's very choppy, Mama Bear. Do you want to stop and start it, maybe?
Can you go wave? Wave. Stella. Anthony. You want to go to jail? Set up.
You want to go to jail, sir? Hey, you want to go to Bill's house?
Go down.
Yeah.
Hey, we got help here, Anthony.
Mr. Silva. Hey, man. The fire department.
Didn't he die like a year after this occurred?
Yes, he died a little bit less than a year after this occurred. It happened on October 8th, 2022, and he died on September 10th, 2023.
What was Mr. Silva's life like from the date of this injury till the date that he died?
Oh, it was absolutely horrible. So from the date this happened, he never left a hospital bed. He was intubated for most of it. He couldn't breathe with the power of his own lungs. So they had him on a machine for that entire year. And he didn't leave his bed once. He was paralyzed immediately. And essentially, the pictures of him in the hospital over the year, you see a man wither away. He loses weight month after month until he's a husk of a person, and eventually his body can't keep going, and he dies.
Was he in a coma, or was he able to communicate during that time?
He was able to communicate very basically. He couldn't talk full sentences because he was fully intubated, but he could acknowledge what people were saying to him and say yes or no or nod his head. So he was there, but he wasn't able to actively communicate with people. We got involved pretty soon after it happened. Originally, we were representing Anthony himself, and we actually filed the complaint while he was still alive in the hospital. Shortly after we filed the complaint, unfortunately, he passed away, and we immediately had to substitute in his mother as the plaintiff in the case. But we were involved in the case, I think, about 6 or 7 months after it happened is when we joined.
They still never did any sort of investigation on what happened, even though they had all this body cam footage?
There's been from what we can tell in the depositions and the paperwork they've turned over during discovery, there's been no investigation whatsoever.
Are the officers involved, are they all with this same agency?
Yes, they're all with the Stanislaus Sheriff's Department.
And I take it none of them have been disciplined in any way?
No.
The funny thing is the defense counsel is a real piece of work, and he told, because I've had other trials with cases with him and big verdicts or settlements, he told Cooper words to the effect, why is Dale even involved in this case? This is such a nothing case, you know? And here a guy, and we see this as a serious 7-figure case. So I think he's finally getting it, but Cooper took the last few depots and he's extremely rude to Cooper, this guy.
Did they take any responsibility here, even from the date that this happened, for what occurred?
Zero.
It's even worse than that, in that it's come out through the depositions that there was no internal investigation at all, even though they knew the day after this that without any doubt, they knew that he had broken his neck during the incident. There was no internal investigation of it. And from what I can tell, they didn't report it to the California Department of Justice. And they're required by their own policies to report these kinds of incidents that result in serious bodily injury to the DOJ. So in all respects, they didn't take this incident seriously, even though a man ended up paralyzed and then eventually dying because of it.
I think they were hoping that nobody would find out, especially any competent lawyers. And the mother was semi-homeless, so it's a miracle that she got in touch with a lawyer who got in touch with us. I think that's one of the reasons. I think they were trying to hope that nobody would know about this. And, you know, I think the fact that they didn't do a thorough investigation really makes them look bad.
Are they contesting that the use of force that occurred and the aftermath caused him to be paralyzed?
I don't think they're contesting that. You know, we haven't got into experts yet. I think they're going to say, yes, that did cause it. But, you know, I think they're going to file a summary judgment motion, try to get off qualified immunity and anything else they can do, take an interlocutory appeal if that doesn't work. So I think we're in for a battle on this, but I think we're going to come ahead. We have some good Ninth Circuit cases that talk about takedowns are very serious and could cause serious injury. And so I think given that he was handcuffed and on a hard surface, we also have our state claims, which we have no caps in California, and they're not subject to qualified immunity. So even if things went south on our federal claims, we also have passed a state statute recently, post George Floyd, for pre-death pain and suffering under state law. So because he's passed away, we're going to go for all of his pre-death pain and suffering. And we have some pretty good experts on that. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But if you want us to keep you in the loop on everything or send you documents, we're happy to do it.
As far as these officers, do you know if any of them had been involved in other egregious incidents or other prior incidents?
Yes. So one of the deputies involved in the takedown was Deputy Camara, and he was involved in a very serious use of force incident in 2018 with Alejandro Sanchez, who was also killed while in deputy custody, even though he was in a full wrap. So he was fully restrained, and he died of blunt force trauma to the head. The circumstances under which that happened were very mysterious, since there was no video in that case. But the case did settle for a large amount, and Deputy Camara was involved in the restraint of that individual at the time that he had the blunt force trauma to his head. Another deputy involved in that prior incident was also there at the scene, Deputy Babbitt, who we just deposed recently, was a witness in this case. In that case, nobody was punished either. There was no retraining of any of the deputies in that case. There was no consequences for any of their careers.
And that is the Stanislaus County Sheriff's Department?
That's right.
You know, and quite frankly, it's incidents like this that I think destroys the public trust in law enforcement. I mean, imagine being at the park and seeing them throw some guy to the ground on his head who was already handcuffed. I mean, it's really horrible. We need police to help us, but we got to expect better than that. And I agree with you. Not only him hitting his head is horrible, and we've slowed it down and have still videos and photos of that, but the aftermath of that, the aftermath of treating a fellow human being like that, someone who's handcuffed and in your custody, is really troubling.
Okay, so even though this happened in 2022, everything was captured on body cam, multiple cameras. There's what you said, thousands of pages of medical records. Is there any reason why even tomorrow or next week that the Stanislaus County Sheriff's Department couldn't still do an internal investigation to see whether or not these officers they still employ should be disciplined or terminated? I mean, is there any reason why they couldn't still do that investigation?
No, absolutely not. I think the reason and to add to that, John, I don't think they have given this over to any prosecuting agency to look at to see if there's any criminal conduct. But I think at this point, they're afraid that any internal review is going to find that this was not within policy and concerned we're going to be able to use that somehow in the civil case. So it always gets back to they're more concerned with money and covering their backside than doing the right thing, than stepping up and saying this is unacceptable. And that's why I think it sends the wrong message to a lot of these police officers. And that's why we continue to have many of these incidents occurring over and over again. Because think about it from the law enforcement person's side. They're not losing their job. Their pay's not getting docked. They're not getting criminally prosecuted. It's not their money. As a matter of fact, we often see these people promoted after critical incidents like this.
So there you have it. A lot of times these things are blasted out there. They go viral as this one did, and then you never hear anything else about it. Well, that's not the case here. Now, that this being California, apparently they have a very slow docket process there. And it's the case, even though it's a year later or 8 months after I even did my first video on it, they're still not even like halfway through the discovery process. So there hasn't been any rulings from the judge on any motions or anything like that. So this is one of those where hopefully we'll be able to do additional update videos as that process goes along through the motion stage and then possibly through a trial. My huge takeaway here, as I said at the beginning of the video, is how insane is it that you have these undisputed facts. Anthony Silva was not suspected of having committed any serious crime. He was taken into custody violently. He was put in handcuffs, and then a use of force was inflicted on him that paralyzed him. A use of force was inflicted on him that caused his death in a very miserable way. It's undisputed that these police officers did that to him, that they killed this man. And yet there has been no investigation from the government, not from a prosecutor's office. They didn't put it before a grand jury. They didn't make a YouTube video about it. They didn't issue any sort of press release about it with report details. Nothing, no investigation. And according to the attorneys, when they took their sworn depositions, they had received no discipline whatsoever. They're all still with Stanislaus County Sheriff's Department. They're right there. They still have a badge and a gun, and they still have the ability to do who knows what else they're still doing to citizens there. And the government doesn't care. So I'll put the contact information for Stanislaus County in the first pinned comment below. If you live there, you might want to contact your politicians and be outraged about this. They have the ability to get rid of bad cops if they want to. They have the ability to prosecute bad cops if they want to. Doesn't matter if there's pending litigation. There was pending litigation in the George Floyd case the whole time. It's just a lack of will to do so. They just don't care. They're not going to care until you make them care. For further updates and coverage of this lawsuit, please subscribe both here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. Remember, freedom is scary. Deal with it.
How'd you like them apples? You're muted, Martha. Don't know if you're talking.
I'm getting some information on that.
That's crazy. These people are still out there, man. There's loads of them. There's thousands of them up and down, everywhere, all over the place. Dirty as fuck. I think there should be more severe penalties for these people. Qualified immunity. They shouldn't have qualified immunity. They abuse it. And if they can't do the job and they need to cheat, they shouldn't do the job. Maybe we shouldn't let them do the job. Do you know what I mean?
There is the information on it, Deb. Yes, that was brutal. Very, very brutal. That was a very hard video to watch. Hopefully we can get some more information on that as it goes on. I remember watching the very first video on it. That was a very brutal video to watch when it first happened. I remember that when it first happened. It was very brutal. Very, very brutal when it first happened. And it was something else to watch. It was something else to watch. The next one is Harry Freebird.
I seen you over there smirking and running your mouth under your breath. Say something to me, little coward.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. In today's video, we're going to be focusing on Officer Touch and Officer Outhouse. From my past experiences, Officer Outhouse has often been combative and uncooperative with my investigations. On the other hand, Officer Touch has typically been more cooperative. But in our last two encounters, Touch has made negative remarks about me to the individuals in his custody, seemingly trying to sway their opinion against me in a negative way. For example, during a previous encounter, he told suspects that they could ask me to leave if they wanted to, which rubbed me the wrong way.
He's just standing back there. He's not recording me. He's recording me. Okay. All right. All right. He's just making sure I do my job. That's all he's doing. All right. Okay. All right. If you don't want him here, you can ask him to leave, but he doesn't have to. No. All right. I was wondering what. Okay.
So, with Officer Touch's comment from the previous night still fresh on my mind, he told his suspect on this night that I always followed him around. His tone was negative, clearly trying to give the suspect a bad impression of me. As you'll see, I didn't appreciate it and made sure to speak up. I also want to note that I wouldn't have said anything if they hadn't have been talking about me and trying to portray me in a negative light to the public.
Better. That one? Oh, with it. Turn your wrist. All right. Hey.
Her Touch telling that guy that I just follow him around. Hey, if all you cops stop violating people's rights, I wouldn't have a job.
When am I violating people's rights, Art?
I'd be willing to bet everything I own that Officer Touch routinely violates people's rights. I just haven't ever caught him yet. Okay? You guys give me your comments below and tell me if you think Officer Touch violates people's rights, seeing as how they are trained to violate people's rights and they are never trained on the Constitution or the Bill of Rights.
I didn't say you.
You looked at me and then said it.
But you told that guy I'll keep following y'all around.
Yeah, you do. Is that not what you do?
Yeah, but I mean, that's why I said if you guys had stopped violating people's rights, y'all would put me out of business. Do you not understand that? Just like I recorded Outhouse and Aguise and Brosh beat the crap out of a woman for walking down the street. Outhouse, yeah. And I had to file a complaint on you for being rude and not following your policy. How do you expect people to follow the law and you won't even follow your policy, Outhouse? Not identifying. You didn't get word of the complaint I filed on you? So they just threw it away, huh? You didn't hear anything about it? That's interesting. You already said no. All right. I'll take that up with Internal Affairs. I got another suspect over there. On the other side. That guy was smart. He would not answer questions. This guy's talking way too much, man. Yeah, if y'all did y'all's jobs right, the DOJ wouldn't be investigating Galveston right now. You know, there's 10 lawsuits filed on 10 different police officers right now. You know, I always keep my mouth shut, but you started talking to me first, man. I don't like how you told that guy I'm freaking following y'all around. You ought to tell him I'm doing my job. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing my job. You got a problem with it? You got something to say? I seen you over there smirking and running your mouth under your breath. Say something to me, little coward. I got a business card. I already know your name. It's Outhouse. ALTHOUSE. Don't be a smartass. You're being investigated too. Piece of shit. Like to beat on women, stalk women, and beat on women. Piece of shit. That done piss me off.
Well,
Harvey Freegood. Links in the chat, everybody. Give him a sub
Yeah.
if you want. All right. Where are we? Let me see if I can bring something.
Well, we got another good one too.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got another good one. Yeah. We're gonna roll tonight. Austin cops. Yeah.
go.
Okay, please put your hands behind your back. How? I'm not resisting.
Do you have anything on you that could hurt your?
I have nothing that could hurt you.
Thank you so much.
Give you the camera. They have a whole file. You see it showing where he is? Okay.
I was mixed up at first.
So I'm not being arrested for
You're being
trespassing.
arrested for that particular code.
So you already have statements already written out?
Okay, yeah. Marching orders.
So you're aware that your police commissioner was arrested for police brutality, official misconduct, and perjury?
No.
You tell Ryder I said hi.
I talked to him, I will.
You guys can't take off the handcuffs? I'm in a jail cell. Why do the handcuffs still need to be on?
Listen, this is above my head.
Hey, what's up, guys? Long Island Audit here. Back again with another video. Today we are going to watch secret footage of my unlawful arrest that was recorded after my live stream was ended by the Nassau County Police. If you'd like to watch my attorney give his legal analysis of the case, I'll leave a link to the video in the description below. Let's get into it. Make sure I'm recording the law enforcement officer, of course, of her duty. Hey guys, how are you doing? Do you mind if I get your names and badge numbers?
Officer Goldberg, 4682. Okay.
And your name?
Officer Bastino, 4624.
Thank you.
At this time, you are being arrested. Okay, you're trespass banned from this location, so please put your hands behind your back. Okay.
How am I trespass banned?
There's multiple reports about you.
Okay, please put your hands behind your back.
How am I? I'm not going to resist you. I'm not resisting in any way.
That's fine.
I'm not.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
not going to resist in any way.
Thank you, sir.
I'm not resisting you. When was I trespass banned?
There's multiple reports in September. I was told.
Well, I didn't receive anything. How am I supposed to know?
Oh, it's frozen on me. It's all frozen up. Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Must be me. Is it me or you?
I stopped it. Hold on. Let me see if it's
Do
back.
you have anything on you that could hurt your?
I have nothing that could hurt you.
Thank you so much.
Maybe the camera.
Oh, that, yeah, I get that.
So you're saying that I'm being arrested for what crime?
You've been trespassed, sir.
I'm being trespassed?
Yeah, you've been trespassed a few times.
From here?
Yes.
I wasn't trespassed. I've only been here one time.
What's that?
It's probably my watch going against the
Oh,
hopefully,
okay.
hopefully it's not making any emergency we already got law enforcement officers
My
here.
car? Is your back? I can clear it. 2 seconds.
603.
So I've been here one time in my entire life, one time.
Okay.
And the sergeant, you know, the bald sergeant, what's his name? He's from the 3rd precinct.
Well, there's a couple bald sergeants.
Oh, okay. Well, there was a sergeant that specifically stated, I'm not trespassing you from the building.
I wasn't here that previous time. I don't know anything about that previous time. I just know that as of today, this is what we're being told. You're not allowed to record or be in the building. You're being trespassed, so you're being arrested for it, okay?
That you're saying that you were told that I was told I'm not allowed in the building.
I'm being told that we have documentation saying that you're not allowed to be in the building, so you're being trespassed.
But do you have documentation saying that I was notified I'm not allowed to be in the building?
That, I don't know. I just got here myself. I wasn't here that previous time.
Okay.
Before we go in, I just got to do a quick search review just to make sure, okay? Thank you so much for your cooperation, okay?
I'm not going to resist in any way.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your honesty. Just that string, right? Is your cell phone?
Yes.
You got a chain?
Yes, I do.
And then you got the wristwatch, right? Thank you so much. All right, take a seat right here.
This is ridiculous. I wasn't trespassing the property at all. And I was engaged in a constitutionally protected activity.
Can you move your knee? I just want your knee to hit the door. We're gonna move the seat forward for you, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Headquarters 22356.
615,
Just want to be able to put the seatbelt on you, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
615,
Conrad
aided in North Hills.
He's a very tall individual, and I'm not very tall.
Dove Hill Drive, 616 post for an 88-year-old
Lean
male.
forward a little bit, okay?
Shortness of breath and leg pain. 1211 2356.
Hope I'm not making any emergency calls with the watch.
We'll check it out in a few minutes, okay?
Yeah. This is absolutely ridiculous. I was engaged in a constitutionally and statutory protected activity. Look, they have a whole file on me over there, ladies and gentlemen. They have a whole file. You see it, Sean Reyes? My name is Sean Paul Reyes, first of all. As you can see, it's clearly open. See all the people walking in during normal business hours. You can see right there, 516-572-7153.
And then stated she dialed an error. Check and verify 302.
I just want to make it really clear that this is an unlawful arrest. I never knew I was trespassed from here, and you have to give me the notice that I was trespassed from here before you can arrest me for it. But do what you need to do. I'm sure it doesn't say it anywhere.
Title 22, Title A,
Chapter Part 29. Okay, that's why you're being arrested. And these are the two reports.
Title 22, what is that?
Title 22, it's for the video reporting inside that building and not being allowed to.
So I'm not being arrested for trespassing?
No.
I'm being arrested for Title 22?
Yes. Chapter A.
Which is a misdemeanor?
I believe so, yes. I don't know the exact code, but that's what it says on the paper, okay?
Okay. I mean, so you said I was trespassing, but...
You're video recording in an area that you're not allowed to.
Okay.
I was mixed up at first.
So I'm not being arrested for
You're being
trespassing?
arrested for that particular code.
So you already have statements already written out?
Okay, yeah. I told you that.
So everything's already ready to go?
Yeah. This is from 9/10 and 9/9.
Okay.
September
All right.
10th and 9th. Okay. Just so you know.
September 10th and 9th? I wasn't even here on the September 10th. Maybe that's when they wrote it, the day after I was here. I only came here one time.
I'm marching orders.
So am I being arrested for filming this time? I'm sorry. I just want to understand. Am I being arrested for
previous encounters? You've been informed that you're not allowed to video record.
Right.
Which you did.
Right.
Okay. They asked you not to do it. They filled out 2 complaint reports for those incidences.
So I'm being arrested for those incidents.
And then today you also did it as well. Okay.
So I just want to make it clear, officer. Am I being arrested for the prior incidents or this incident today or all of them?
Prior, and I'm not sure about today because I wasn't here. I have to talk to that officer, and then we'll go from there. Okay.
All right. So they already signed statements and everything else. So was there a warrant already out for my arrest?
That I don't know.
Like if I was pulled over or something, I would have.
Sure. Do you mind if I turn that off so it doesn't keep going off?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
can I like just put it in your pocket for now?
yeah. I mean, yeah. Go ahead. I can't sit up.
No, that's fine.
Any unit for an aided Garden City Atrium West 323 post.
Is it rubbing up against the button?
Being notified any unit.
I mean, you're a big guy.
Yeah.
Just notifying emergency contacts.
Yeah, see? I didn't mean to do that. Title 22. Doesn't sound like a charge. Interesting.
Want me to put the seatbelt back on, or are you okay for now?
I'm good for now.
I'm just
yeah.
waiting for my partner.
All right, no problem.
We'll go back there for a second.
Headquarters
I'm just gonna sit up a little bit. Just like keep the pressure off my elbow. I mean my shoulder. That's why I was so confused. You said, yo, when you told me I was trespass banned from the building, I was like, no one's ever given me warning of any trespass.
I understand. Apologize if I misspoke.
Were you aware that your police commissioner was arrested for police brutality, official misconduct, and perjury? Were you aware of that?
No.
You weren't? Yeah, he was. Doesn't seem like the nicest guy. Tell Ryder I said hi.
I talked to him, I will. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, my shoulder really hurts.
Headquarters to 2362, any available units, 2362, any available units. Respond for an aided
This guy
in
closed the
Newcastle
door,
and
didn't leave
Urban
the air
Avenue
on.
and Broadway, 316 post.
You can clearly
Some ladies
see
have passed their nearby.
air conditioning is not
Hey,
on.
on the corner, there's a male black wearing a light blue shirt, black sweats,
Ridiculous.
possibly fell off his bicycle. Appears
It's
to be
getting hot in
breathing,
here,
but
man.
maybe
They're over there checking all their paperwork. They have
on
a
the corner, a
folder.
male black wearing a light blue
They have a
shirt,
folder that's
black
dedicated
sweats,
to me.
possibly fell off his bicycle. Appears to be breathing, but maybe unconscious. 1223. 221. 21 222.
I can't hear what they're saying, but it looks like they're worried about something. Their faces look very worried. You can see the female officer here, texting on her phone. They really care about people's personal information. To leave their computer on. They just leave the computer on. So much they can care about people's personal information. Can you turn on the air? I can't really. It's getting hot in here. Can you turn on the air? It's getting hot in here.
Yeah, no
The door
problem.
closed.
Sorry about that. My supervisor's just coming right now to talk to you, okay?
Oh, okay, yeah, no problem.
Just to make sure everything looks the way it's supposed to. And then,
Yeah, I don't think it does.
Okay. I know you don't, because,
I don't think it does.
Okay, no problem.
Doesn't sound like a law that I could be arrested under, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I think you guys were supposed to tell me to leave first and then arrest me when I wasn't left. That's what I'm thinking is supposed to happen.
I understand.
But yes, yeah, please. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. Couldn't breathe in here. It's blowing out hot air. Look at them. They look terrified.
Just got to secure your property for right now, okay?
Yeah, sure. Come on, let's go. Let's get this over with. My shoulder's killing me.
Time for 225 Grand Street, 123.
323?
323.
Let's go. Give me a 10 seconds.
Goldberg, go.
Change 41 down.
That's 1064 to the third.
So you mind if I get your name and badge number? Sir, do you mind if I get your name and badge number?
Not right now. I don't want to do it.
Not right now. Must be buddies with Patrick Ryder.
23 1 Dramat, 620 Union Avenue.
My bad, officer.
Boulevard. Female passed out and is unconscious.
Ow.
1236 2362.
That should have buckled me in, man. Get into an accident, it's over for me.
2341.
One of them. One's my cell phone, and one's a camera, just for camera purposes.
2363 received 1087. 1242.
I just want to be clear that the black one was the camera.
Okay.
And that because I don't want to get you confused because that one has nothing to do with my personal phone.
Okay.
The green one. Hey, how are you? Good. Could be better. Hey guys, how you doing? I also have some stuff in my pocket, my left pocket right here. And that's all I have on me.
Complete search when we good.
Yeah, sure. Hey, how are you, ma'am? I'm doing okay, considering. You guys can't take off the handcuffs?
Yeah, we got to take off our stuff first.
I'm in a jail cell. Why do the handcuffs still need to be on?
How do you turn off your device?
I can do it for you. I have no problem doing it. It's not recording anything right now.
Both of them have to just go off. Okay.
I mean, I'll turn them off for you.
No, I understand. We have to wait until, I can't take those off until I have this on.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So my partner's in there taking over his stuff.
Okay.
and then I can take the handcuffs off.
Okay.
Go from there.
I just wanted to make it clear. I can even show you on the thing, like, you know, I have a personal cell phone that's just for calls, and then I was recording. I just don't, my issue is, officer, my concern is that you're gonna seize my phone that I record with. That's fine, but my cell phone has nothing to do with it. It's just a cell phone.
Listen, this is above my head.
I'm just trying to, I just want to make sure that that's.
Are those recording devices as well?
These are just glasses.
Regular glasses. I saw the camera on
Those are the cameras on those. Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so we're just gonna take off the hat, your other pairs of sunglasses, your other glasses for right now. I have to. Okay. And your chain as well.
Like I said, whatever you're gonna do, I'll comply with it.
Thank you, sir. We're just gonna put it in a property bag. I'm gonna put your name on it, okay?
Okay.
And then we'll be able to let me know.
Did they have a third to be right on? 2. I'm right on. Yeah. But not before that. Wait, there was yeah, no, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, 2 already. Okay. From 99 Okay. I didn't know if that was an issue. Okay. Oh, fine. All saying sucks. Yeah. I had to just barely distract over there. Understand.
All right, fellow patriots, first and foremost, thank you all for your support. I cannot fight this injustice without you. Please stay tuned to the channel and make sure you have notifications turned on. I am in the process of a thorough investigation into the Nassau County Police Commissioner, Patrick Psycho Ryder. You will be shocked to see what I've uncovered. As always, stay safe. God bless. I'll see you in the next video.
What, Deb? Interesting.
I've got one from Redacted if you want to watch this one. I'll drop the link in the back. Looks good.
Okay.
Major black swan event. Oh, she just got her wish, as early voting, of course, starts in a number of different states across the country. And the United States Postal Service just posting that we are 36 days until Election Day, and they have now suspended service to many of the zip codes due to this storm. In Georgia, 42 zip codes, North Carolina, 39 zip codes. These are all, of course, solid red areas, solid red states. So maybe your zip code is affected right here on the screen. Take a look. Yeah, USPS done. So no service right now. And we banks out, cell phones out. So trying to get access to your banking information. Earlier, trying to log into Twitter using your cell phone, no good. Of course, they want to go after Twitter. They would love to take X down as quickly as they can.
Well, here's a little tip for that maybe people didn't know, is that you do use your cell phone for two-factor authentication for Twitter, and you should. But Twitter also allows you to download what they call backup codes that you can either print or put somewhere safe. Don't put it in the cloud. And then you can use that code if, for example, you can't get to your cell phone. So do that, because a lot of banking apps also allow you to download backup codes in the event you can't use your cell phone for two-factor authentication. do it. It's worth doing it.
A lot of people in our chat saying Verizon down across Idaho, AT&T down across California, AT&T down in Northern California. So Verizon in Indiana not affected. But yeah, it's really a crapshoot right now. I mean, all across the country, different outages, different locations. So banks are out, cell phones are out. Well, we'll get back to that part of the story in a second. But first, hurricane damage. It's being called 100 times worse than Hurricane Katrina. 100 times worse than Hurricane Katrina. Just look at this. Unbelievable what families and communities are dealing with now across 6 states. In North Carolina, it is off the charts devastation. Western North Carolina has almost been totally destroyed. Gone is Western North Carolina right now. And this is where the attention should be focused, because there's rescue efforts still unfolding. Thousands are still unaccounted for. Thousands of people missing. And just look at this. And that's not being hyperbolic. Everything in Western North Carolina has essentially been destroyed. Thousands of people still missing. And according to local police, bodies are everywhere. Bodies in cars that they haven't been able to recover yet. Bodies on the roads. Bodies in the trees. Bodies in the sewers. The death toll from Hurricane Katrina, 1,600. And this is far worse, and it's going to get far worse in the coming days as they start to account for all of these missing individuals and then are declared as dead, unfortunately. Tennessee, look at this. This is Tennessee, also hit hard. This is Unicoi County, Tennessee.
Is that a coffin?
That's a casket. Caskets from local funeral homes washing down the streets. And so imagine preparing for a funeral and getting lined up for a funeral and come to find out that your loved one has just been washed down the street in a casket. How did the Biden administration respond in Tennessee? Well, this weekend, good news, Middle East. You're getting Tennessee National Guard. You can't make this up. Tennessee National Guard Task Force has just been deployed to the Middle East.
What?
On Saturday.
The F word.
Yeah. So priorities for Tennessee and the National Guard for the Biden administration. I covered a couple of these 100-year floods when I was a young reporter in West Virginia, and down in Tazewell area, and all through Bluefield, West Virginia, where I lived for a number of years. And you having the National Guard be a part of that cleanup and recovery effort was essential for those areas to recover, to open roadways, to get trees unblocked from passages over bridges, to help communities get food and water. But let's go to the Middle East, because, we need to take care of Israel. We need to make sure Israel is taken care of.
Well, specifically the quote that we saw President Biden today saying over the weekend, saying, "We've given these flood victims all we have." That's never a phrase when it comes to war aid for Ukraine. Never.
No.
There's never. It's limitless.
In the same breath, I just approved $2.8 billion in addition to the $8 billion for Ukraine. And then when asked, which we'll get to here in a moment, do you have any additional resources for the victims in these 6 different states? No, we've given them enough.
That's finite.
We
hit the bottom of the barrel.
What he meant to say is, we've given them all we're going to. That's all we're going to get.
Yeah,
that's what happened to Lahaina, or wasn't it Lahaina? What was the Hawaii? Yep.
Yeah, and Maui. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've heard this, this tune time and time again. So instead of mobilizing the National Guard to help in Tennessee, sent Tennessee National Guard into the Middle East. And on Saturday, the Biden administration sent an additional $8 billion to Ukraine. It's also sending thousands of more troops. We published this morning in the newsletter, thousands more troops are now being sent to the Middle East to help Israel as we speak. Why is that happening? Because, Netanyahu runs the show, of course, and is calling the shots. The White House is basically silent on the devastation because these are Trump voters. These are red areas. And even the front page of the New York Times, I mean, right now, go to the New York Times. This is the front page of the New York Times from about 30 minutes ago. Look at this. Tim Walz, all about Tim Walz. So here's what we're learning about Tim Walz, his old debates. Here's what we learned. It's all about big picture of Tim Walz. CBS experimenting with a novel way to offer real-time fact-checking of the vice presidential debate.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to do a great job.
Go down the page a little bit, and you get some Israel. Of course, you got to get some Israel, right? And then there's 3 stories on Israel. And who's on the right side there? Yeah, there's big opinion piece about there's your new commander in chief, the next president of the United States, right there. That's the New York Times today. That's because Trump isn't president. It's because a Democrat is president. The New York Times, though, during Katrina, was happy to take the piss out of George W. Bush for that disaster. Here's the front page of the New York Times after Katrina. New Orleans inundated, and they use their large font as well. Inundated as 2 levees failed. Much of Gulf Coast crippled. Toll rises. That was just, here's another page of the New York Times. Look at this. Later in the day, hurricane slams into Gulf Coast. Dozens are dead. Front page. That's because Bush was president. Right now, Biden and Kamala Harris are president. So the New York Times is going to cover Tim Walz. That's how it works. It's kind of, it's shocking, not surprising at all. So right now, Florida says they've got it under control. Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, says we've got it under control. What really needs to be focused on, though, is Western North Carolina. So here's a governor of Florida, which has got hit brutally, saying we got it under control. We're dealing with it. Western North Carolina needs our help. It needs a federal response. Somebody better pay attention. Watch.
What I would say is the Florida, we have it handled. We got approved for the individual citizens, things we've wanted. We have what we need. Now, obviously, there may be additional things that we'll ask for in the future. It depends on how things shake out. But I think most of the effort should be in Western North Carolina right now, because you still have active rescues that need to take place. Just think about, it's almost like if this area were totally cut off and every road was destroyed and all this, but you can still get places by boat. There, you can't do that. You're in, and I just think they should really, the federal government should focus on that.
Yeah. So Western North Carolina, I hope the Biden administration maybe is paying attention to this. But so he was asked how many more resources these states will get, and he was pretty adamant about this. Just asked by a reporter here on C-SPAN. Watch.
Are there any more resources the federal government could be giving them?
No, we have pre-planned a significant amount of it, even though they didn't ask for it yet. Hadn't asked for it yet.
Yeah, so they got enough. You guys got enough down there. But we're able to send $8 billion to Ukraine, help out our little troll boy Zelensky, send it to Israel. Because Netanyahu needs some more money, a country with a surplus and a space force in Israel and nuclear weapons. But we need to send American forces to the Middle East right now. We need to get them weapons over there in Israel. DC Drano posted this. Not a single tax dollar should be sent overseas until Americans in North Carolina have electricity and running water again. Put Americans first. I can't believe I even need to say this. Of course, the commenters slammed him and called him a Putin apologist. Idiots. I'm so sick of idiots. I'm just, you ever just wake up and you're like, I'm just so sick of idiots in this world.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like if I posted, we need to make sure that Maui is taken care of. People in Maui are taken care of. People in, East Palestine, Ohio are taken care of. People in Conyers, Georgia with a chemical fire taken care of.
Yeah.
The port strike, which is about to devastate the United States. We're going to get to that in a few moments here. But saying a message about sending billions of dollars overseas to Israel, the Middle East, and all of these other areas that we're sending money right now, put Americans first. Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad to know that people think like this, because sometimes I only speak to erudite people who study, who get to come on Redacted, people who have actually done the fucking homework. So I don't get a lot to talk to people who have not. I'm sorry for the F word, but I see some of the comments on my posts where people say, well, we have to, we can't let Putin go unchecked. Okay. So we went into wars in Vietnam, Nicaragua, Panama, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Yemen. We were wrong in every single one of those wars, but we still get to check people. You think that you're right about this one? You think that this one's different and you're getting it right this time? People literally say yes to that.
Bread and Circuses in our chat says, I'm sick of your Israel bashing. It's like, but they're fine with the Ukraine part. They have their total love of Israel. So you think it's okay while Americans are underwater right now that we can send billions of dollars and National Guard forces to the Middle East to help Israel? You're okay with that? It's like, I don't understand this sort of Israel first mentality. Look, fine. I'm an American, so I'm going to put America first. If you are Israeli, great. You should put your own country first. But don't ask me to put your country above mine. I'm not going to do it. And certainly when Americans are underwater right now, you can... Anyway.
Well, literally, this is what the Department of Defense said today, is that the United States will defend itself from Iran. We are not under attack by Iran. So they are trying to make you believe that you need to defend ourselves from a war we intend to start right now with Iran. And over the weekend, 57 airmen Muslim countries have unequivocally said that they will offer a peace deal to Israel, that they want no more fighting, and all they want in exchange is a Palestinian state and an end of the occupation, and they will offer Israel security. No one has to go to war. This happened in Iraq when Saddam Hussein said, we will have peace talks, but no one's listening because the people in charge want war. Study more and then come back to me with this Israel bullshit.
Yeah, and Ivan Reichland feels the same way. He's going to be up in a little bit here on the show on Iran. He's like, people are being duped by this Iran bullshit right now. So wake up, people. Don't fall for this false flag garbage. You know, they want us to be dragged into this war, and they want you to feel like a rallying point, like we need a new bad guy. So that's how we're going to go to war. I mean, in the Middle East right now, it's absolutely crazy. So don't fall for it. Anyway, meanwhile, we had this in Tennessee. 8 men, all migrants. So our board, we're very concerned about other countries, but we're not concerned about our borders being wide open in the United States. 8 men, all illegal immigrants. Andy No calls them migrants. I'm not calling them migrants. He can call them migrants. They're all illegal immigrants, have been arrested for allegedly looting and burglarizing flood-ravaged victims in eastern Tennessee. They've been arrested now. Can you imagine? It's the United States right now. So to top it all off, in eastern Tennessee, something else is going on. Truckers now, multiple truckers reporting that their tires are being slashed on their routes, trying to bring supplies and other items across those borders into North Carolina, through eastern Tennessee. Listen to these truckers, all of their tires being slashed at different rest stops multiple times. Watch.
A friend of mine posted my last video on Facebook, so I'm just repeating it here on TikTok just to get the word out. TA in Denmark, Tennessee had 50 trucks with slashed tires. 50 trucks with slashed tires. That's on I-40 through Tennessee. Exit 126 in Holiday, Tennessee. The Loves had 5 trucks. One guy had 9 tires slashed. And exit 163 at the Loves in Dixon, Tennessee, there were 16 trucks with tires slashed. So if y'all are traveling through that area, avoid those truck stops. Try not to stay overnight in those truck stops as for now. They've got authorities working on what's going on, and it's some kind of an activist group that is doing this. So y'all be careful and be safe out there.
Thanks to the truckers out there who are, work tirelessly. We have a lot of them who watch our show. So thanks to the guys out there who are spending those tireless hours on there. And some people saying here, flooded nuclear reactor in Irwin, Tennessee. Thanks to Baha'i in our chat as well on Rumble for that. So we're going to be watching this, and we'll see what the federal response is. It doesn't appear to be much from the federal. Don't worry though, Kamala Harris, she's been on the phone. She's been on the phone being briefed. And of course, people are calling the fact out. She said, I'm on the phone being briefed, and her headset wasn't even plugged into her phone. So anyway, posing for photo opportunities right now is what the Biden administration is focused on. So
excited to see what she does when she's fully briefed.
Yeah, and President Trump just landed in Valdosta, Georgia. He's limited. He's not a president of the United States at the moment, so he can go there and lend support and some aid, but he doesn't have the power of the purse. He doesn't have the power of emergency declarations and FEMA and other things like that to marshal resources. So he's there right now, but President Biden, he said apparently later in the week would maybe show up there. So we'll see if Biden shows up there.
Time tonight.
Right, a shit show. Just in time. Hey?
Yep.
It's an act of God, you see. What, you think they can control the weather? I mean, be serious. Come on. Are you a conspiracy nut?
Look it up, Deb. Look it up. See how much Australia's given. Look it up. You'd be amazed how much other countries have given.
Given who?
To Ukraine.
Oh, yeah. All right. What we have? What else we got? What else we got on there? Let's see what we got. Oh, I need to go.
Announced today by the Albanian government takes Australian military assistance to Ukraine to more than 1.1 billion starts to the Russian full-scale invasion. Overall assistance to more than 1.3 billion, July 11th of 2024. So, they have given Australian largest single military package worth $2 million, July 11th of 2024. Deb. This was July of 2024. Okay. This was July of 2024. Okay. All right. How much more back farther? I don't know. But that was July of 2024. Okay. So you can I got that information here. I got that at the Australian Government Defense Ministry release. Is where I got that release. Just a minute, and I'll post where I got that from. So you can look that up.
I dropped another one that's just dropped a minute ago. Not sure if we've already seen this one, Marby.
That's where I got that information from them.
Customs Enforcement, known as ICE, has now knows about 662,000 non-citizens with criminal histories, but only has about 15,000 of them detained, so they say. That means that almost 98% of the criminals that the United States knows about are roaming the streets of America right now. This comes from an official ICE document, and we're going to go over it right now here on the show. All right, let's check this out. Check this out. So this is from Tony Gonzalez from the U.S. House of Representatives. It's a response to a request from Representative Tony Gonzalez, who asked for these numbers back in March. First, some clarification. Are they illegal immigrants? ICE doesn't say so. So let's play this out a little bit as conservative as possible. Okay, so let's pretend that these numbers will just be as conservative as possible with these numbers. Most of them probably are, but they could also be people with green cards who are legal but not citizens, and that wouldn't really matter even if we did do this conservatively. Even if they are legal, breaking the law should get even a legal person deported, shouldn't they? You would think so, but that's not the way of it anymore. Breaking the law has no consequences in the United States of America for non-citizens. So if you're an illegal immigrant in the United States, you can break the law, you can murder people, you can rape. It doesn't really matter. If you're an illegal immigrant in the U.S., you can get away with all of that. According to this document. What matters is that ICE is tracking criminals and allowing them to stay in the United States. It knows that it's doing this. It's allowing them to stay right here in the United States. So when we lived in Europe, we had to provide clean background checks from the United States government and the Portuguese government to prove that we had no criminal records whatsoever. If we had criminal records, Portugal then could revoke residency to people living there, and it could have the right to deport individuals, right? That's what it could do. That law exists to keep the Portuguese people safe from criminals. It's a part of a social contract. Now, in the United States, you clearly don't have that social contract with our government. Our government knows about criminals and cannot remove them from our borders. Even ICE is frustrated about this right now. They exist to protect our borders and are not able to. They are not able to. Here is how they explain this.
All right, I'll take it from here. So what they're saying is that they recognize that some jurisdictions are concerned that cooperating with federal immigration officials will erode trust with immigrant communities and make it harder for local law enforcement to serve that populations. However, they say, and everyone who's been paying attention to this has said all along, sanctuary policies can end up shielding dangerous criminals who often victimize those same communities. The problem here is that their hands are tied. That's what they're saying. It's an utter gut punch to anyone that watches this, because there's no immigrant community saying, oh, yes, we want a free and open border so that criminals can come and terrorize, because where do they terrorize first? Us. So if they're specifically talking about Spanish-speaking communities, none of these Spanish-speaking communities want criminals to come in and hurt their daughters, kidnap their kids, steal from their hard-earned earnings. No one wants that. So how do liberals answer for this? Like, oh, we love all Latins. Just let them all come in, get documented. All are welcome. The Latin communities, this is why they're turning away from democratic policies, are saying you're letting through criminals. They're raping and stealing. But the Democrats' response is, yeah, but they're your people. You should be happier now, right? So it's a really racist way to torture migrant communities by open borders and placing more criminals inside those communities. So let's turn to the numbers. Now, what the White House says is that these numbers have been misrepresented. They're not saying that they're wrong. They're saying that they're being misrepresented. Well, I'm not exactly sure what they mean by misrepresented. Karine Jean-Pierre did not actually expand on this, but these are the numbers that ICE is saying. I think we can, at the very least, assume that it's, let's be conservative, I'm going to assume it's double this. But even if these numbers are legit, it's terrifying. So the way ICE is representing this to us, I found not sufficient. So I'm going to show you how I worked up these numbers in a second. So what they're saying, total criminals, and we're going to look at how they break down by crime, is about 15,000. So currently detained is about 10,000 with criminal convictions, and then pending convictions is about 4,700. So let's say that's about 15,000. Now, of the ones that they do not have detained, but either know that they're criminals, meaning we've convicted them or some other country has convicted them or they're pending criminal charges, well, it's upwards of 600,000. So I wanted to take those numbers and put them in my own spreadsheet because, number one, I'm a Virgo and I love spreadsheets, any opportunity. But also, I want to know what the percentage is. What are these totals? What are the total numbers of crimes versus the total numbers of detainees? And it's really easy to see. So let's just look at the totals and then we'll look at it by crimes. So first of all, total people here that have done crimes, total number 662,000, but in custody 15,000. So that's 2% detained, 98% roaming free. Now, the document also says that they only have 40,000 beds in detention centers, so we can't take care of these people. We know that they're chartering flights for migrants, so we could say you're removed for now. We'll get you back if you prove your innocence. But for now, our priority is to protect the American people. So you got to go. They're not saying that. They're not doing any of that. They're just letting them go free. Now, if you read the tone of this document, clearly ICE is frustrated by this. Their whole reason for being is to keep the borders safe, and they're not allowed to do it. But these are the numbers. Now, if you look at this chart again, look at assault. Out of 108,000 people that they know have committed assault, they've detained 4%. This is one of the higher numbers, and it's even still totally crappy. That means 95% of assault perps walking free. Burglary, 18,000 offenders, 2.8% in custody, the rest walking free. Dangerous drugs, which is the root cause of the fentanyl crisis we have right now. We know of 72,000 offenders, but they have only 1,600 in custody. So 97% of them free to roam about the country. Let's move on to homicide, kidnapping, and robbery. You should, again, look at this yourself. I can send you this document with my workings because I want to say my spreadsheet representation is better than ICE. You can have it if you'd like, or you could make one yourself. But again, if we know of at least 15,000 murderers, how many have we detained? 329. That means if you murder someone as a non-citizen of America, you have a 98% chance of getting out and getting away with it. Kidnappers, we know of about 3,500, but have only detained 112. 97% rate of letting them go. These are people who steal children. Robbery, larceny, immigration offenders, every one of these, you see the percentage not detained, 95% or higher. Now let's move on to sexual offenders, weapons offenders, and traffic violations, which may seem like nothing, but I think traffic violations is a bigger threat to us than you think, because migrants who bring lawlessness to the country drive dangerously and can kill us all. So sex offenders and sexual assaulters, between 3 and 4% of them in custody, the rest out on the street with their penises to do whatever they want, right? People who steal property or vehicles. I'm not sure how this is different than burglary. Nevertheless, same amount of numbers. Traffic offenders, only 1.43% of them in custody. Weapons offenders, 17,000 migrants with illegal weapons, 96% not in custody. So can we trust these numbers? Well, J.J. Adams, the former Border and Customs agent, who's a friend of the show, says absolutely these numbers are comically no. J.J. Carroll. Who's J.J. Adams? I'm thinking that's nobody,
Abrams,
right?
I think is who you're thinking of, and that's
Is who I'm thinking of, who made Star Wars. I don't know how much he cares about that. Right. So we know that J.J. Carroll knows about this and says that these are comically low numbers. But even if we take them at face value, it shows 500,000 non-citizens that ICE lets go free inside our borders. So not making us safe. Now, Kamala Harris visited the border last week. She kind of looked through the wall and she announced that she would be announcing new restrictions. None of her new restrictions on the border would help the government deport criminals. That seems to be a non-issue. It's not like, okay, well, maybe we can stop them. But what about the ones that are already here? That are kidnappers and sexual assaulters and murderers? Can't do anything about that. That's the way it is. It's just the way it is. Okay, so why isn't this bigger news, though? Why does it seem like only conservatives care about this? Why would Democrats ignore this? Is it really just as stupid as that they would have to admit that Trump had a point about the borders and that would sort of break their operating system to ever validate anything that Trump said? It seems like that's the case. Discussing this recently, Greg Gutfeld said that it betrays all logic because surely Democrats love their families, and two, surely they don't want to be stolen from and raped too, right? I'm just going to let him say it.
In the real world, she would be toast. And I don't like getting riled up for no reason because this story is so unbelievable. I wanted to see if it was reported elsewhere. You know, it couldn't find it on MSNBC, CNN, Drudge. You have the release of hundreds of thousands of foreign criminals, like they emptied the jails, raped thousands of rapists, thousands of murderers. And on the pages of all of these networks, the death of Maggie Smith, which is sad, great actress, Lana Del Rey's marriage, P. Diddy rumors, but nothing about what is easily one of the most big, probably the biggest crime story I've ever seen. So we know that Democrats watch this show. Some of them hate watching. But if you're watching this, the media doesn't want you to know this information. They don't want it to reach you. They would rather you die or be raped than Trump be right or find out the truth. So you can hate Fox all you want. You can hate Trump all you want. You can hate me, but you can't hate yourself and your family so much that you're going to ignore a story that puts them in danger. Now, even if these numbers are off by 50%, please, I think that the fact checkers should fact check it. You know, tell us, no, it's not 16,000 rapists. It's only 8,000. It's only 7,000 murders. Cool. I'm glad you're okay with that. I'll take your fact check. But anybody who defends this or says it's not that big a deal is complicit, and they should be held accountable. Every victim of every crime by the people that are in here that we haven't vilified, who are actual villains, you need to file a class action suit against this government. You know, these bastards were more offended by stories of cats being eaten than real stories reported here of actual rape and murder. And if you ask why those other stories existed, it was the only way to get these a-holes in the media to even look at this story. They can only see immigration as a gotcha moment for political gain. There are actual people that are dying. This is a huge story. Where is it?
Well, it's here on Redacted. Does it help? I don't know. But, you know, I think that the ICE document shows why liberals don't care, and it makes me want to cry. It says because these murderers and rapists, they prey on the migrant communities that they move into. So it's not us, right? It's not sort of middle, affluent, upper class keyboard warrior type workers. So we can say we love all Latins and not really care that they're living in dangerous communities because our ignorance. And so it's I don't know what it is.
And the sad thing is too, if you try to bring awareness to it and you try to talk about it in even a reasonable way, the climate is so chaotic that they just label you a racist and all this other stuff. It's like we can't even have conversations about it and try to figure out what do we do? Like, what can we do?
I don't know. We can talk about it. Yeah. So, I mean, it's the people who are least likely to be victimized by it for now, until it spreads into all communities, who can say and ignore this because they can afford to for now.
Yeah. I mean, even Greg's comment, though, I mean, regardless of what you think about Fox News, I see a lot of people trashing Fox News, and that's fine. But his comment is pretty spot on, because even if they try to walk these numbers back and they're like, no, it's not 15,000, it's only 7,000 murders. Oh, okay. So
that's cool by you?
The hundreds of thousands. And I talked with JJ Carroll today about these numbers, and he said these numbers are bogus. I mean, it's way higher than this. Way higher. Where are they getting these numbers that they have these individuals detained in any kind of way? They don't have them detained. Where are they detaining them? All of these beds are empty. All of these ICE beds, detainment beds are empty. And he knows. He's gone to them. He's contacted all of his ICE friends and Border Patrol agents. They're not holding these individuals. They've released them.
Yeah.
And they don't know where they are in the United States.
Right.
And they're just out there. And so you got murderers that you know about, and the White House is now trying to walk these back. It's going to be very interesting to watch this vice presidential debate.
You know, there was a best-selling book recently called American Dirt, and the plot of the book is a mom and a son who are victims of cartel violence, and then they illegally cross the U.S. border. They literally cross with a person who tries to rape them as they're going across with these two young girls who consistently are at risk of being raped because they're young and pretty. So I think that this narrative of like, it's not just criminals, it's good people too, but the good people are being chased by rapists. And so the good, like they're proving their own point that a secure border would secure everyone you want to care about. And it's such ignorance to say an open border is a compassionate thing to do. And you can only say that until it doesn't hurt you. And it's a tunnel vision that I literally can't stand it. But here are the numbers. Now, how the White House says they're being misconstrued, I don't know. I took exactly that document and put it in my prettier spreadsheet. You can check my math if you want to. We're not misconstruing anything. This is what ICE says they know about and they cannot detain, period.
And those are the numbers that I got off of ICE as well, because I got the same spreadsheet, same number she got when I got it the other day, because I got it off ICE as well. She has the same numbers that I got because I was looking at the spreadsheet the other day when it came out. Because it came out the same day Harris went to the border. She did a beautiful spreadsheet, by the way. She did an absolutely beautiful spreadsheet. But yes, that is the numbers that I got when I looked at it from ICE. Because it was put out the same day that she went to the border. So it was the same one. So do I believe the numbers are higher? Yes, I do. I don't believe they're lower. I believe they are higher. Just by the numbers that have come here to New York. Just by the numbers that have come here to New York. And it's been in the news of illegals driving and vehicular homicide. It's been in the news. It has been in the news, drinking and driving, vehicular homicide. If I remember right, don't quote me, but I believe one was a DA's son and wife that was killed out west. That was killed. So oh, but it's shocking. It is shocking. Totally shocking. Totally shocking. Totally shocking, the numbers. So, and I have been reading from many of the truckers on on Twitter that truck tires. I read that this morning that truck tires were being slashed. I also read that they have arrested 8 people so far, illegals right now, as well as other people right now, for robbery in the flood zone. For robbery. Right now, I think that's pretty low and despicable. That's happening. So, let's see what else I got hidden in my stash. What else you got, Mellows? But remember, tomorrow night, we are going to be live. Tomorrow night, we're going to be starting at 8 o'clock New York time. The debate starts at 9 o'clock. But we are going to go live at 8 o'clock. So to give you time to get your popcorn, your peanuts, and whatever. But we will be live tomorrow night for the vice president debate. So, okay.
I'm going to watch the Master Debaters.
Yeah. Yeah. What else you got hiding back there?
Let me see what else I got. Fine. Maybe we've got James Freeman or
oh, I forgot about James Freeman. I don't have him on my save list. Where did it go? I thought I saved him. And I know we talked earlier about him. I know we talked about it earlier.
I'm gonna drop the link.
But a done side. Which one do you want to do? Hold on. Didn't click over. You want to do the one 3 days ago?
Yeah. Was that the CPS one?
Yep. Yepper.
Did the police teach you how you're supposed to act yesterday, sir? But I'm going to go ahead and just document you educating them, and then I'll be on my way with you.
Sir.
Yeah, let's not argue.
So do what you need to do, and then you need to leave because we have business here, and I need my children.
But I don't need to leave, right?
So-
Just let her know. I mean, I don't need
You
to actually.
don't need to record my children, and that is part of the, yes, that is, they're in state custody, and that
Right.
is not
Yeah.
public.
So the day before this, I had come into the Albuquerque, New Mexico CYFD, which is the equivalent of, in other states, they call it CPS, DCFS. They go by different names in different states throughout the US, but essentially their role is the same everywhere. Take children from homes, put them into the foster care system, let them go missing, and don't go looking for them. Because for the safety and sake of the children, the people who are abusing and losing them should not be investigated. The US Department of Health audited more than 74,000 cases of missing foster children. Of those 74,000 children, almost half of them were never even reported missing, and about 22% of them were reported late. Of the cases that were reported, the majority had inaccuracies and other data issues. In 2016, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children found that 86% of sex trafficked victims were in the care of social services when they went missing. Let me say that again. 86% of trafficked children came from social services, including foster care, CPS, CYFD. Everyone likes to say that they want to end child trafficking, and then they go after the 15% while turning a blind eye to the majority of the problem. CYFD, CPS, and the foster care system. These organizations use excuses such as the privacy of the children to make sure that there's no photographs of them, and even to prevent their name from being released so that nobody, police or otherwise, have any clue who they're looking for.
Living in New Mexico, we're so used to saying like, oh, we can't talk about it's confidential. We can't talk about it's confidential.
But Beck says the only way to fix current problems in the system is to talk about them.
This is a public health crisis.
But these aren't the only problems that plague CYFD. CYFD is the second biggest liability to the entire state of New Mexico, second only to the University of New Mexico Hospital. Earlier this year, they were looking at a shortfall in funds to settle lawsuits filed against them for everything from wrongful death lawsuits of children in their custody, children being sexually abused while in their custody, and so much more. Let me say that again. They've had so many egregious cases of physical abuse, sexual abuse, and wrongful deaths of children that they can't even afford to pay the lawsuits and had to have special money allocated by the governor to cover them. Over the years, as CYFD has continued to decline, senators have proposed legislation to add some oversight and some checks and balances into CYFD's system. But the head of CYFD, Teresa Casados, along with New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham, have fought tooth and nail against any kind of oversight, accountability, or transparency for years. They even retaliate against whistleblowers within the agency.
They say they were fired after raising concerns over several ethical issues, including the controversial use of the department's message disappearing app.
Cliff and Deborah Gilmore, who both have long careers in public relations and child advocacy, were recruited to come here last year to move the department forward. They say when they pointed to things that could be fixed, they were retaliated against.
The things that we saw happening inside the organization, and when it comes right down to it, they make things harder for kids rather than helping them.
Cliff and Deborah Gilmore describe the culture at the state agency as toxic.
There's gaslighting, there's sort of passive aggression, there's moving of goalposts.
Cliff was the agency's spokesman, and Deborah was hired as the agency's director of the Office of Children's Rights, terminated after raising ethical concerns about CYFD's use of Signal, an app used for official department communication, with many discussions set to auto-delete after 24 hours.
There were entire conversations under threads about legislative strategy and work that are now gone. We were told set it to 24 auto-delete, because if and when we get an IPRA request, we'll have to stop deleting things and start providing those materials. The answer was to tell me in particular that I was new to the area, that I didn't really understand New Mexico, or that I didn't understand the systems.
They say who is hurt most are children and families of New Mexico.
The way a leader treats their subordinates becomes the way those subordinates treat the people they serve.
CYFD tells us tonight, quote, while CYFD appreciates the opportunity to clarify misinformation, CYFD cannot discuss personnel matters or threatened litigation.
For decades, CYFD has operated in almost total darkness and secrecy under the guise of trying to protect vulnerable children. But some argue that them being allowed to work in total secrecy and darkness has allowed them to become the biggest child trafficking organization in the history of the world. Maybe somebody should be recording every child that walks in and out of that building. At least that way, when they go missing, we can show the police who it is that they're looking for. The day before this, I had been at CYFD doing an open records request, and as usual, I always record my interactions with my government. Government lies, and if you don't have a recording, it's your word against theirs. These people called the police on me and tried to have me arrested for recording them. They even lied and made false reports to police saying that I was entering restricted areas. The police informed them that the public have every right to record everything they can see from a public space, and that the CYFD lobby is a public space. I came back on this day to make sure that the staff and the security fully understood this so that there would be no further problems with them. Sure enough, they learned absolutely nothing.
Oh, there he is. Hey, how are you? Did the police teach you how you're supposed to act yesterday, sir? Sir?
Since the security guard seemed to genuinely be under the impression that it was his duty to block our entry into our public building when we're recording, as well as call the police on us to try to have us removed while we're recording, I thought it might be worthwhile to call his supervisor and make sure that he's either retrained or removed from the property.
Hello? Hello, is this the supervisor for the Securitas Security?
How can I help you, sir?
Are you the supervisor?
Yeah, you called the number, sir. How can I help you?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
Yeah, do you guys take complaints on security officers?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead. What you got? As far as him being removed for doing what he was essentially trained to do, there's not much more we can do on that aspect.
So are you telling me that you trained him to harass people that record their interactions with government?
Individuals, auditors, those who claim to come in and when they're in secured areas, when they're not supposed to be, their job is to essentially take your attention. So yes.
Really? So secured areas, you said, right?
Yes.
Interesting.
I'm just going back on the information that I'm now reading currently, given that instance you said yesterday. There was only one other instance that could have happened, and that was in Roswell, so
okay.
Not out there.
Okay, so your report says that there were people what are they called again?
I'm just going off the report, like I said, going off of what you're telling me, there's a lot of blanks I'm filling in. So, but if there was anything else you need for as far as filing a complaint against this officer, his demeanor and how he responded will be addressed.
Okay, and how do I get a copy of that report?
That's proprietary information, sir.
Okay, so you're contracted by the government at this building, at least, right? It's
Contracted by the state.
right, which is government. And so it's not the same as when you're contracted by, let's say, Walmart, right? A private entity. And so are you telling me that I got to go and do an open records request to get his reports, his false reports? Is that what you're telling me?
That's not going to happen.
Okay. Well, I can tell you this. I can tell you this. I've tried to be nice about what we're doing here. And so I'm
frozen again.
do this the hard way, which is legal. It's totally legal, but we're going to do open records requests for all the reports, and we're going to make sure that the public has to step in to make sure this guy's removed from our building. So I'm just going to do another open records request, and then we're going to put the story out that Securitas thinks that it's okay for their security guards to abuse, harass, and bully people when they come in to do business. So sound good, Brian? So, of course, I'll be peaceful, nonviolent, and within the law, as I always have been. But I'm going to go in there and fill out my next public records request for your partner's report. Did you fill out a report yesterday, too?
Answer any questions about it.
Not answering any questions? All right. Pleading the fifth on that? Trying not to incriminate yourself? Okay. Looks like they're coming out to talk to me. Hey, how's it going? Good. How are you doing? Oh, I've been better. I contacted the security supervisor a few minutes ago. I thought everything was settled. You know, the police came yesterday. They told your security guards, you can't do what you were doing. They have every right to record in a public place. Even though we know that we can record anyone in the public place, we were very, very careful not to record any kids and to just point our cameras down. Here's the problem. When I called the security supervisor to talk to him about his partner bullying us, acting like a total idiot, and asked that he be removed from this place, he just talked back to me and said, no, that's the way it's going to be. If you come in with a camera, he's going to jump in front of your camera. He's going to swat at it. He's going to do all this stuff. And I said, okay, well, you know, I thought we were just going to settle this and get the bad security guard removed, and that would be it. He doesn't want to do that.
Well, this is the deal for me, okay? My concern are the kids here.
Absolutely. And that's why I'm out here instead of inside of there.
But
right now.
You filmed one of our kids walking in, and my employees are getting nervous. My families are getting nervous.
Quite frankly, I'm not worried about your employees. Your employees can either find another job working in the private sector or not. But the kids, you could. No, I didn't record them coming in.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Well,
no, I didn't.
I'm asking.
You understand how recording works, right? It's on record.
We didn't come here to argue with you.
Okay, then don't argue with me.
You to leave.
Well, don't argue with me then. I have to fill out another records request now for the report that was filed yesterday.
I'm asking you to leave.
I'm asking you to leave.
Okay, well, I'm back.
You are being requested by CYFD to leave.
I'm asking you to leave.
Well, I'm going back to my office, so I am, but I'm asking you to please leave the property.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is, like I told you, Brian, I'm going to sit outside to fill out the records request and then come back in and hand it to you.
You have to contact State PD now since you have been requested to leave by.
They told you yesterday that they cannot request me to leave. It's a public entity, a public building.
You've been told, man.
Look, man, Brian, if you want to go that route, you do whatever you got to do, and I'll do whatever I got to do.
Sounds
right?
good, sir. All
right. I'm going to sit out here. I'm going to fill out my request, and I'll bring it in when I'm done. Okay, boss? I'm just letting you know. I'm not asking. I'm not. And you know what? That'll result in a lawsuit for them. For you, Securitas, as well as CYFD. Again.
You have been requested to be served by staff. So
What's that?
Now that you won't leave, I'm out to contact.
You know, CYFD pays more in lawsuits than any other entity in the state of New Mexico because of what you guys are doing to kids. And then you sit here and tell me you're worried about the kids. You're only worried about yourselves.
They get paid $25,000 a kid.
You ain't worried about the kids. You're worried about yourselves. State police arrived right as I finished writing up my records request and went inside to turn it in. The security guard tried to physically block my entry into my building.
No, not yet.
I'll go turn this in.
You can't come inside, man.
Are you blocking?
Yeah,
my
they're
way?
still up here.
You blocking me from turning in a records request?
Yeah, all right, sounds good.
Good, how are you? I mean, not bad. He's trying to block me from going in to do my business. So if you could just move him aside. So if you can just move him aside so I can go turn in my records request, be on my way.
Okay. And you're not filming any children?
No, of course not.
Okay.
No, listen to this. It would be legal, but I'm not. That's not what I'm here for, and that's not what I'm, but you know it would be legal. You are. I mean, if any kids come across here, your body cam's going to catch them. I put my camera down like that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? We know it's legal, but I'm not.
Yeah.
That's not what it's about. It's about them, and they know it.
Yeah. So you're just trying to turn this in at the front window?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you could tell them to stop doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. So we went through our legal and everything, just so you guys know. So he has the legal right to be here.
Okay, well, he was requested by Romaine to leave the property.
So I'm just letting you know, we went through our legal. He has the legal right to be here. He's not committing any crime.
But apparently he reported it. He recorded some of the children when they were coming inside.
So unless you guys can prove that, there's nothing.
I mean, he had his camera up angled, and then when some of the children walked in.
Yeah. So, and I mean, it's just so the way it works for that stuff too, as long as he's not like posting it, selling it, things like that. That's where it gets illegal. Like if he was trying to sell it, post it for pornography purposes, things like of that nature. Yeah. So.
I mean, if it was said by you, if it's cool with you.
So I've already I got this from our uppers, like people that are above me and everything, and then they went through our legal and all that. So yeah. Unless he's committing some sort of crime, which to my knowledge he's not. It's all we'd have to prove it and stuff like that.
Okay.
So there's no so
Right.
it's a public state building, so he's allowed to record.
Okay.
Yeah, so just like if I was conducting a traffic stop or an investigation, as long as it's not interfering with it, there's nothing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I guess I'll let the bosses know that.
Yeah. So, and if they want to call our offices, they can ask for a supervisor, and so it was told to me from our supervisors already. So.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, that works, sir.
Can we make sure this gets settled with all of your supervisors too? Because here's the thing. I'm just here doing a records request today, but I've heard from a number of people who were trying to document their interactions with CYFD because they're having their children stolen from them, they believe wrongfully, and they've been threatened by CYFD investigators for recording them. And so I need to make really sure to establish here and today, and that we don't have to come back, because I was here yesterday, right? You called the police. They told you not to call them again. I'm here again today. You called the police again. We need to make sure that this is solidly established, that anyone has the right to come in here and record their interactions with their government. And the whole point, I mean, I know you guys are trying to pretend, oh, you're trying to protect the children. Well, CYFD's lost a lot of children, just disappeared. You know that, right? Right? You know that 80% of children who are trafficked come from the foster care system in the United States, right? So don't act like you're the one trying to protect the children, right? That's just, that's a cop out. It's all about the kids, so anyways.
He's just trying to do it.
And he was yesterday, but he wasn't today. He was trying to be rude. He was trying to be nasty. And so, and you know what, again, even if he's just trying to do his job, let's make it clear, because it was told to him yesterday what his job was. And his job was to let us do this. And he called the police again. So what I'm trying to say is I need to make sure this is the last time I have to come here. So who else do we need to talk to right now to make sure they understand perfectly clearly that this harassment of people like myself and others is not acceptable, and you got to stop? Who else do we need to talk to?
So And I'll let them know in there too.
Yeah,
Okay.
So you're just trying to turn me in over there?
Yeah, but I'm going to go ahead and just document you educating them, and then I'll be on my way with you.
Educated, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. When you're making my clients and my kids and your videos of my kids, you're making me uncomfortable, sir. So I know this is a public official and a public building, but those kids are not to be videotaped, and that's making them uneasy.
Well, how
And
come
as long
some
as
of
the resource parents, as well as the bio parents, come to do their business.
Did you say the buyer parents?
I don't need education. I need education.
So, yeah. So he's just here to turn in his paper. He can record when he's coming in to do it and stuff. I mean,
But you can't record my kids. Those are the kids that are in the state custody that I have not signed permission for you to record them. So no, that's not appropriate. You're right. This is a public building and you have that right, but you don't have the right to videotape our kids that are in custody. That's a security and safety issue, sir.
Your virtue signaling doesn't affect me. You guys lose children.
I don't.
So
I'm not
let's
gonna
not
argue
do
with
the
you.
let's not do the argument.
Yeah, let's not argue.
So do what you need to do and then you need to leave because we have business here and I need my children.
But
to
I
come.
don't need to leave, right?
So-
Just let her know. I mean, I don't need
You
to actually.
don't need to record my children, and that is part of the, yes, that is, they're in state custody, and that
Right.
is not
Yeah.
public.
So, so he's not allowed back there in like their area and stuff,
Yes.
which he's not trying to get back there.
Yes.
Yeah. So he just go.
Sign his paperwork
Yeah.
and do what he needs to do, and then, yes,
But
and then move forward. Yes, but you don't record my kids. My kids are in state custody.
so it's a thin line. So I've already talked to my supervisor and stuff. So he's allowed to be here. He can be recording. He's not trying to get back there as long as he's not doing anything illegal, like breaking stuff. He's not like during regular business hours.
You cannot record my kids, so that needs to be,
So,
they're in state
yeah.
custody. And
So
if
I
need
mean, so I get what you're saying, but
Yes.
that's all. Like if you wanna go down to the courts and do that, and then if they say that, that's a totally different thing.
Yes.
But like as far as being here and stuff, we could go along the lines of while he's here, it's your job to keep him back there in the whole area that you have. You
So
see what I'm
but they're
saying?
getting
So-
dropped off from school, sir. This is
So
our
what
point of
I
contact.
so like right now I'm recording.
Yeah.
Okay, and so it's like the same thing, and my stuff can be at request.
course,
Okay,
of course.
so it's all it's public building, so that's all. It goes along those lines there.
And I have kids back home.
we need to screen our kids.
Cool. You trying to get them out of it? Let's do this. But she needs to understand that I can stand here all day. So if we.
So we have children.
Yes.
Oh, where'd you steal them from?
So we have children.
Did you lose any?
Need to get to where they need to be.
Did you lose any?
Benefit or be productive.
Did you lose any?
Thank you.
Sir, we
What?
need to get our children out, please.
Your children?
Yeah, see why
You,
children.
you birthed them? Or did you just steal them?
Sir, I'm not gonna get into a game of semantics.
Oh,
We need to get our kids out.
are they going from this door to this door?
Sir, we just need to get our kids.
Yeah,
out.
I'm trying to ask you where they're going so I can turn the camera the other way.
Well, if you just turn it that way, will we get our children out?
Okay,
please?
sure, no problem.
Thank you.
Yep. Hey, he's got a camera on too. Why aren't you yelling at him?
No one's yelling, sir. No one is yelling.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, yes, sir.
Just need to turn in an open records request.
Okay, I will forward this to my point of contact in Santa Fe.
Thank you so much, sir.
Sure.
Could I get your name?
My name is Nicholas.
Nicholas, I'm James.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
James, you have a great day.
You too. I don't think they get it. And I need them to get it.
So it's our.
See, it's not about the kids. You're trying to hide your own face. It was
Okay. I set that video there for a reason. You see that sign right there? What's that sign say? All activities monitored on video camera. You see what that sign says? They're recording. What's the difference? They're recording.
Never about the kids. It's about your selfish desires.
Sir, no talk. Okay. Thank you.
I'll talk to you all I want.
I have children coming in. Please turn the camera that
It's
way.
not about them, it's about
Yeah, I have
you.
children.
Stupid bitch.
You
You got a good-
notice that? Did you notice that, fellows?
Yeah, well, they're exempt. You know, the different cameras for them. They have their cameras are all right. You know, they don't like someone recording them, so they call more people with more cameras to come and record them complaining about the people that are recording them. Makes a lot of sense.
They can record, but you can't record.
All right, because we live in a two-tier system in this world. You know, we've got no class, and then we got everyone else.
You can record. They can record you, but you can't record them. Jackasses.
Idiots.
Just like San Quentin had one too. He did one the other day, where a school principal loses a kid. He played a good one the other day.
Okay.
And then gets battered over it.
You want to drop that one?
I'm getting to drop it right now.
Trying to help me. The principal who just asked me to hold the door for her is the only person that's trying to help me right now. That's it. All of them just stepped away. Like they can't do anything for me. But call the police. Because I'm black and belligerent. What's your name, sir? That's the one that ran from me as soon as I pulled my phone out. Bro, don't touch my phone. Don't touch. Or what the fuck are you gonna do? Do something. What are you gonna do?
Welcome back, folks. We have an unbelievable video for you, and we also have an update at the end. So make sure you watch it all the way through. Let's get right to it.
Let's go. I'm up here at the high school, in the middle school, and the elementary. These motherfuckers done lost my baby. They done handed my baby to somebody. They talking about I gotta get out if I'm going live. Ain't none of that. Ain't none of that. Y'all done lost my baby. What you mean I gotta get out because I got my phone out?
He talking about you yelling, screaming, being belligerent. He making a scene.
Where's the principal for ILA? That's what I'm saying.
Undoubtedly, this has to be every parent's worst nightmare.
That's me. Oh, you're the principal now. What happens to the other lady? Yes, principal. So you can't access the cameras? I don't have no. Oh.
Where is transportation? Can you tell me where transportation is?
I don't think I know it. Do you know where transportation is?
Oh, who are we looking for?
My son. They gave my son to a man that is not.
Yeah, this man embarrassed. He walking out.
I need my son. I wonder where transportation is.
Yeah, it's a male. He won't leave the building. You asked him to step outside. He's swearing and being irate. So just ask him to leave.
Yes, because you lost my son.
If there's one thing that I really don't like from mainstream media news sources is the fact that they do not give up important information like this man's name. I could not find him anywhere. I did find who the principal was. I'm not sure if they're the same guy, but just check out the way he's acting, and the man is missing his kid.
He's in ILA.
Yeah, stop shaking.
Where's the picture?
I'm up here at this motherfucking school, and these people done lost my son.
Dad.
Right there.
And they all ran out as soon as I pulled my phone out. I need to know where my son is. They told me they done handed my son off to his father. I'm his father. Cadence Cooper.
They got him.
He
No, he goes to ILA.
He goes to ILA.
They put him on the bus.
And his principal just told me that they handed him to his father. I'm his father. So, or transportation. Who did they hand my son to? I need to know what's the route. I need to know his bus route so I can go to every stop and look for my son.
Let me make a call.
Everybody's already been making calls. Calls are not doing anything at this point. I need to know the route. That's all I need to know.
I don't know. I just got over here. I don't know. That's the principle.
This shit don't make no sense, cuz.
Where's my baby at? He's still like, they didn't know their bus stop.
Bro, these people done lost my fucking child, bro, at the school. They got me fucked up, cuz. They got me fucked up all the way. Yeah, they got me fucked up, cuz. This shit happened 3 times last year.
Wait a minute. Did this guy just say this happened 3 times last year?
Look, and it ain't nobody in here helping us. Look at this shit. They scattered. As soon as I pull my motherfucking phone out, they scatter. And they cannot find my fucking child. Man, they got me fucked up.
Cadence Casanova Cooper. He's in 3rd grade. Cadence, K-A-D-Y-N-C-E. This is the school picture this morning I took of him. That's the superintendent. Sir, please get that off.
Oh, I don't got it on you. I don't got it on you. I don't have it on you.
Helping us.
I don't got it on you. I know you helping us.
That's the picture of him. That's what he looked like this morning when he left for school.
I find it quite disturbing and hard to believe that these school officials are more worried about being recorded than finding the kid. I just think about it. They don't want you to record and document their incompetence.
See, I don't even remember seeing him. But see, we don't know him. Hello? Uh-huh. It sounds like transportation. No, the transportation just told the principal that they gave him to his dad. And I said, now we're waiting on right now. Okay. Can you find where's transportation? You know,
I need to know his route.
That's what I'm trying to get the transportation. I need to know where transportation is located. Nobody knows where it's located at. Can you find that out for me? Okay. Uh-huh. Hold on. Let me put you on speaker.
Who is it?
This she works over at this right here. She's family. Yeah. Go ahead, sweetie.
Okay, transportation is 248
Uh-huh.
221
Uh-huh.
1002.
1002? Okay. I'm about to call them now.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I'll do what I can on my end.
Okay.
Okay.
Way to go, fam. Working together to find the kid. That's a hell of a lot more than these school officials are doing.
Is that all this stuff for it's not gonna get locked out?
I got you.
You guys do not go anywhere because this superintendent is going to act crazy over a camera and he's actually going to try to snatch it from the man's hand. Folks, we don't know for sure who he is, so if you find out, please put it in the comment section. I will include it in the information. Check this out.
What's going on, boss?
I'm holding the door for the principal. They lost my son. And they expect me to be calm. If that was your 8-year-old, could you be calm?
What's your son's name?
Cadence Cooper. None of them are trying to help me. The principal who just asked me to hold the door for her is the only person that's trying to help me right now. That's it. All of them just stepped away. Like they can't do anything for me. But call the police because I'm black and belligerent.
How did your son get to school today?
On the bus. No. I don't know. I was at work. I don't know. My wife, she might have brought him to work. I'm not sure. He might have rode the bus. I don't know. I'm at work at 4 o'clock in the morning. So she called me when I was at work and I had to leave work.
Does he normally take the bus?
Yes.
Okay. Does he usually take the bus back home?
This is the first day of school. But yes.
Okay.
Yes.
On the first day of school, they lose this man's kid. If you guys have kids and you've taken them to school, you know exactly how hectic it is. Everybody's crowding each other. Cars are not moving. Cops are waiting around the corner to give you a ticket. Some parents are in a hurry. They start flipping each other off. You got to wait for your kid to come out of the gate, hop in the car, drive away. Some parents have to get off. It is a massive clusterfuck out there. But this kid got on a bus. There's no reason why this bus driver should be losing this kid.
And you know his bus route number?
I don't know anything. That's what I'm trying to find out. Like, what's the bus route?
And that's
so
why
I can go. You know what I'm saying?
asking you so we can maybe call transportation, have them radio to a bus to see if he's on a bus.
My wife is already on the phone with transportation. Why did my wife have to call transportation?
Right.
None of them are
We
on the
just
phone
got
with
here, so
transportation.
we can't speak to
So
what happened
unfortunately,
before.
Shannon did call. They didn't answer. She called the 800 number and they said the teacher put the baby on the bus. And then then they said somebody took him off the bus and gave him the dad.
Right. So I need to know where that happened at.
Okay, but see, I'm trying to figure it out. We're trying to help. So you gotta relax for me.
I'm not gonna relax.
I'm just finding
My 8-year-old is missing. I already buried one baby. It's not happening again. What?
Where do you live?
80. I live on Astor.
On Astor.
Yes.
Where does he get on and off the buses?
At the corner of our house. Yes.
Okay.
He's not there because my other son has not
That's
called
fine.
me.
I'm just trying to figure out who's the principal that was.
Yeah, they said Rocker was trying to help, but
Not from him, no.
he,
My phone's in the truck.
let me call Tanya.
Yeah, she'd be there.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll be right back. Who was supposed to pick him up? Your wife?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was there waiting for him. They're talking about they gave him to his dad.
When the bus got to his bus stop,
Nobody got off.
nobody got off.
All, the rest of the kids got off. He didn't.
So happened we would have got off if he. Yeah. So we need to figure out what bus. We need to figure out what bus.
We need to figure out the route. Yeah, this isn't moving fast enough. This is not moving fast enough. Did you figure out his route? Because they're not moving fast enough for me. They bullshit. Do we have his route yet? Okay, I need to know the route. What's your name, sir? That's the one that ran from me as soon as I pulled my phone out. Bro, don't touch my phone. Don't touch. Or what the fuck are you gonna do? Do something. What are you gonna do? You're gonna hit me because I have my phone?
Cooper, what's your
You're gonna hit me because I have my phone out?
Is it Cooper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cooper, yeah. Yeah. Huh?
Down there way. 89 North Astor.
No, she was standing there asking what they told her that they handed him to his dad already. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. You know what I'm saying? But that's what you relayed. You know what I'm saying? It's a boy. Hayden. Can you see if he's on their bus? You. Yes. Go home. Go home. They're saying that he may be possibly on his way to my house. Can somebody please escort me home? Because it's not a running every red light. I'm just trying to turn it off.
She's frozen.
not doing him no good, right? So I need you to take a breath before you get under this wheel. You could possibly die in an accident and kill somebody on your way. Okay? Take a breath. You want them to give you a ride over there? Because you have to be driving and focused on the road and trying to focus on getting your son, right? Oh, I was buried one day. I understand. But I don't want you to be buried and your son don't get to see you. Because you hide in the moment, you try to focus on something else, so you got to be able to focus and drive. Because you know how crazy the roads are. You know, you run through a red light, that could be the end of it. And if you're going to be at your place. Excuse me. Thank you. Good Michigan is supposedly on the way home. Somebody's calling me. And how did he kill this woman? Did they have what's your address? 89 North Avenue.
I told them motherfuckers they better give me an escort because I'm running every fucking red light, cuz. They just gonna have to ticket me when I get to the crib. No bullshit. I'm gonna go on up to school.
All right, folks, and here we go. We have an update for you. I know many of you are watching and you guys want an update. Here's the news segment.
Tonight with what should have been an exciting first day of school turning into a frantic afternoon for parents of a child who did not get dropped off at his bus stop. Thank you so much for joining us for 7 News Detroit at 6. I'm Carolyn Clifford.
And I'm Mike Duffy. The 8-year-old spent today at home after that terrifying ordeal yesterday afternoon.
The father says when they went to the school for answers and began live streaming on social media, someone called the police.
7 News Detroit reporter Darren Cunningham is talking with the boys' parents and the district about how all this happened.
Elizabeth Fitch and Delshawn Cooper say their son's school bus is supposed to drop him off at his stop at 3:25. When the bus got to the stop, she says 4 other children exited the bus, but not their son, Cadence. The driver pulled off. So she says she went to the school, International Technology Academy, asking staff where her 8-year-old is. She says her husband, Delshawn, arrived soon after.
He pulls up and they come out and tell me, no, don't worry. He's with his dad.
I gotta tell you guys, it's one of the things I don't like about mainstream media. They don't really put phone numbers so that you can call and redress your grievances. This is some of the most important stuff that needs to be told to the people.
What do you mean he's with his dad? His dad's right here. That's when I lost it. I felt sick to my stomach. I couldn't breathe. You gave my child to somebody.
She was frantic.
I need to know where transportation is located. Nobody knows where it's located at. Can you find that out for me?
These parents say an administrator tried to help, but they're upset with how other staff treated them during the confusion.
He called the police on me
When he started recording.
when I started recording because I was irate.
He's referring to this other principal.
Yeah, it's a male. He won't leave the building. You asked him to step outside. He's swearing and being irate. So just ask him to leave.
Yes, because you lost my son.
Deputies arrive. The district says that's standard in this type of situation, but someone did make a second call to the sheriff's office.
Don't touch my phone. Don't touch. Or what the are you gonna do? Do something. What are you gonna do?
By 4:40, Fitch learned her son was safe.
When I called the bus garage myself and stayed on hold and waited for somebody. So dude picked up and told me, we found him. He was asleep on the bus. Go to his bus stop.
This
I
was
went straight to, this is at
over
4,
an hour later.
4:40.
7 News Detroit spoke with District Communications, learning Cadence was found on the bus by the driver after the last stop had been made. The district says the boy had been awake and alert. Prior to that, the district says there was confusion when a man picked up another kid, causing other kids on the bus to tell the driver Cadence had already gotten off.
Looks like these little badass kids are playing pranks on the driver. That's one hell of a messed up prank, folks.
Cadence's parents are calling for the district to tighten up their procedures.
When they enter that school, and even when they leave the school until they get home, that is your job to make sure you know where the kids are at all times.
The district declined an on-camera interview, but I received a statement that reads, quote, "We take any possibility of a missing child very seriously and were incredibly relieved to learn that our student was safe the entire time on the bus and simply hadn't spoken up when his name was called. In Pontiac, Darren Cunningham, 7 News Detroit.
I don't believe the story should end there. I believe that this principal should be fired immediately. The way he acted towards that man, and then he tried to take his phone for recording him. And the man also said that this happened 3 times last year to what? 3 different kids or his kid? Yeah, folks, I don't know. I think this guy right here looks incompetent, needs to be fired immediately. That's why we're going to go ahead and drop the phone number for you guys so you guys can put on the pressure. Maybe somebody can go out to this city council meeting or school board meeting and start to rabble-rouse the city council members. This has to be the scariest moment in any parent's life. For your kids to come up missing, hell no. Especially considering that they're forcing us to send our kids to school. And if you don't send your kids to school, they threaten to take them away. But they're going to lose your kids? And then they want to teach them all kinds of crazy stuff at school? They don't teach your kids nothing about the Constitution. Just look at the world around you. Look at your friends and family. None of them know it. Prove me wrong, folks. You guys start making some videos talking about the Constitution and send them to recordpolicenow@gmail.com. I'd like to start posting some of these videos. Tell us a little story on how the Constitution worked for you. With that being said, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys like this update. Hope you guys appreciate this video. Always record the police and government officials. And if something ever happens to your kid at the school, do not be afraid to pull out your phones and start recording. All right, folks, have yourself a blessed day. We'll see you on the next one.
That principal, I swear that guy needs to get sacked. Useless.
Yeah.
We're more concerned with the guy. I mean, the amount of energy and time that he wasted calling the police on a guy that was recording him rather than making the calls to find where the guy's kid was. Right?
Yep.
Have a father arrested because you were so incompetent you lost his child and he's angry now. So, yeah, I know. I'll weaponize the police force and have the man who should arrested, right? For being angry at you, for being incompetent at your job.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Well, you can redress your grievances to your government, but, you know.
Yep. Yep. So,
right, you know.
Yep. Well, I am going to call it a night. It's 11:30 here.
Yeah, it's good. 3 hours is a good show.
Yep. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody over on X and Rumble. And everyone on YouTube, thank you for joining us. And we will see you on the next one.
Well, we'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, for sure. Good night for now, guys.
This is your emergency broadcast system. All civil unrest has gone global. All capital buildings and cities are under siege by the United States government to quell the domestic terrorist threat. All residents of urban neighborhoods and cities are being ordered to stay in their homes until the threats are eliminated. If you disobey orders, you could be shot on sight by rogue agents, federal forces, and domestic terrorist militias. This is your emergency broadcast system. This is a national alert. Imminent threat is nationwide. You must stay in sight of your homes or risk being shot on sight. The conspiracy is upon you. Your conspiracy friends were right all along. Now you must learn to survive. If you hear this, you are the resistance. This is your emergency broadcast system. End of broadcast.